Good evening, everybody, and welcome to our
Schmeenus.
show. Hey, Stream Uncle. Good to see you. Happy 4th of July to you, too.
Groovy. Happy Independence
Hey,
Day,
brother.
everyone.
If you go to the pinned comment in chat, you will find 5 GoFundMes for my friends James Colley, Moonshock, Angela Ariaga, the Hey Camel, and Maddy. All great people, all following little hard times, all can use some assistance. We got a double feature again this week. 2 movies. I hope you like them. I'll begin the intro. I think you guys will like this one. So, here it is.
Groovy.
Hail to the king, baby.
That's a nice touch with the old style movie projector.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was messing around with the green screen effect, and I thought I'd try it.
That's gonna. I predict that's gonna work out really well with the new intro that I'm working on. It's gonna be a while because
Understandable.
because the concept I'm working with. I got the dialogue written for everyone, but I need to find footage to match the dialogue to then find an undertrack for music. Blah blah blah. A whole bunch of shit. You know how it works.
Yeah.
It's a production, man. Even short little things. I think it's one of the reasons I have a great appreciation of fan films, especially when it comes to the ones done really well in the horror and science fiction genres.
Mm-hmm.
Because stealing. That's what I'm doing. I'm basically stealing other people's clips to build these, and just doing that and finding the right clip to go with the right dialogue, with the right music underneath it. And I mean, when we do the recordings for the dialogue, I'm gonna have to step into the role of director too, voice directing. Just to make sure everything fits right. Someone's gonna get pissed at me. I know that's coming.
Well, don't worry. I'll make sure if I have to do any recording to you, I'm going to be as monotone as I can for the first thing I sent you just to fuck with you.
Thanks for that.
Then immediately after that, you're going to get one that's just like, I'm going to try to put as much passion into it as possible. And you're going to be like, dude,
Tone it down.
Tone it down.
Go from complete monotone to flaming flamboyance.
yes.
Never watch alone. Yay.
Do the Ben Stein thing, like, hello, welcome to Never
our
Watch
movie.
Alone. I hope you enjoy.
See, I don't know if that's Ben Stein or Mr. Plinkett.
I know Ben Stein did that too.
Oh, I know, but Ben Stein and Mr. Plinkett are like opposite sides of the same coin in a way. Ben Stein is very boring in his delivery. Mr. Plinkett talks like this, and he's had a lot to drink, and he's watching a movie. You know, but they're the same guy.
I have to get on my plane now.
Really
Thank you,
quick,
Simone.
brother, for the people that you haven't met yet, the skeleton cowboy is Rotncorpse, and the black cat is WillItForge.
Excuse
Oh,
me, cat of color?
Yes, cat of color.
Yeah.
The steampunk black cat is
The Negro feline.
The Negro feline.
I prefer Negro Ghetto.
Oh, Lord Jesus Christ.
No, that's somebody
Isn't it
else.
Gato
He's not on
Negro?
this
Gato
thing.
Negro, you mean?
Negro.
Dumbo arigato to the both of you, okay?
What's that first movie we're watching?
Alright, so the first movie...
because segues are a bitch.
Alright, so the first movie we are watching tonight is called Wingman, an X-Wing story.
That was my pick.
Yep.
Everyone blamed Dr. Functional ahead of time.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess I'll give it a little bit of a preamble in that. So this is a German fan film. So take it with a little bit of grain of salt that the majority, like 90% of the cast, do not speak English.
So we're going to have to watch the
So
subtitles.
They're
Is this
reading
all
lines
space battle
based...
or
Sorry?
I'm
Oh,
guessing
is this
because
going to be one of those
an
things where
X-Wing
they're
story,
reading it phonetically?
It's all like space battle and ship and whatnot, right?
Well, it's starfighters.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of like it's a war movie. And
Yeah, but
so
it's not
I
like
just wanna-
majority of the fan movies to where it's all choreographed lightsaber fighting predominantly.
No. This has nothing to do with Jedi's. I was getting to that.
Okay.
So just take it with a little grain of salt. That like when they're delivering lines, they're doing it very well for the skill set that they have. Again, fan
Okay.
film, we tend to take these things a little bit. So some of the line delivery is a little uneasy because the director does speak English, but he's German national whose English isn't the greatest. It's not like us. So
Right.
when he's directing these people to read the lines, they most of the time they don't know what they're saying really, but he's trying to like convey to them.
Mhm.
So and yeah, it's a war movie. There's no space wizards with the Force and all that garbage.
So basically,
I
it's
love
like
it.
the
I love space wizards in space, but sometimes you just want a good slice of life bit of.
Oh yeah,
And
but I was gonna say, so basically, the cast is so German that when American cops would say to come out with your hands up, they'd be grabbing the Swedish guy Hans.
Ha!
Yeah. There
He
we
said,
go.
"Come up with our hands up."
And it just just 6 months ago. So I mean, this is fairly hot off the presses. I was
cool.
impressed. I was.
I'll say,
very
don't get me wrong, like most of the time for the fan ones I've seen, it's just like it's like choreographed where if lightsabers were in here with very little
Mhm.
force powers and just seeing some of the things some of them have
Right.
done. Like I remember Wonder where like they even got the whole thing of the lightsabers like slicing through the stuff around them and leaving the marks in there for how well they did in their editing.
Yeah, and that's that's some skill, but I'm so
Yeah.
over just the
Oh yeah,
watching a lightsaber duel.
that's why I was
has to
asking, 'cause it's
log
like it's cool to not just see that.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Okay, I'm about to play it.
1, 2, 3, go.
Michael's basement.
That's where we hide the dead hookers.
Brought to you in Technicolor.
Wingman. Starring Bob Wingman.
It's Wing
And
Man.
Wings Howard.
Wingman!
No, it's Wingman. Win the G-Man.
Win G-Man.
That's another thing you'll notice. Like their
Wonderful.
use of the CGI and special effects is just it's so on point for this. Like this
Yeah,
could
it's
easily
well done.
fit into.
Oh, I love how the live action's a bit more tacky. Like it's a little more hammed into there. Like the props are
already
a little
liking
off,
some-
but very believable.
Yeah.
I'm already liking some of their practical effects, though.
Yeah.
Yep, practical effects. The costuming set
Oh, yeah.
design. I mean, all the set design really is just their cockpits, but it's gorgeous.
And those had to be some people that either know folks in the military or have been in the military. Because I've been like that before.
Yeah, hurry up and
Waiting
wait.
for shit.
Yeah, waiting for the operation to start.
And if
But
you
let's
can
get there
sleep, sleep.
let's get there 6 months early. Be ready and stand by.
This guy's so German.
That guy.
Red 3,
looks like
standing by.
Oprah.
So German is probably the paint up. Oh, there we go.
Imperial Star Destroyer.
Yeah.
Bad guys,
It's what-
they have made an appearance.
It's on its way to destroy Jakku and kill off Ray.
Oh, don't stop it! Don't stop it!
To your friend.
Off to save the franchise.
People, focus. We got the
Star
six.
Destroyer
Breaks over.
Sovereign just left hyperspace and launched fighters. The target is underway, counting 20 hostiles.
TIE fighters Mark 3 and 4.
Once the bombers are done, pull all combat activity away from the target area and the approach corridor. Remember, this is Imperial space, so keep in mind that there will be no evac when ejecting. All wingmen, stay with your leads.
Ready?
Said it!
Yeah.
Said the thing!
Let's do this.
Wingman!
Stay sharp, hunters.
Get to the outer
Make it
space
count.
and shoot some bad guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's get this done quick. I want to get home in time for the
So,
edition.
I gotta say, the music's really nice.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And on point.
It really did look like an
Droid
Atari
scares you?
system, bro. It's a little
I'm
loud
more
for me
scared
to
of
hear
him.
you guys, though.
He hasn't
I can turn it down.
Music's a
Some.
little loud for the back.
Lich said he
For
lost his
the
entire squadron. Really don't know why the skipper
tracks.
brought him in.
Better.
Yes.
bit higher?
thank you.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect, perfect.
The droid scares me too.
Well, there's Space Drone 4Q2.
That's droid B4.
Hunter 2, standing by.
Hunter 4,
His counterpart,
standing by.
Artie Deco.
6 standing by.
Striker 1 standing by.
Red Rover standing by.
Striker
Simply Red standing
Red
by.
Green standing
Red
by.
Cross standing by.
Striker 3, standing by.
Big Red. Oh yeah, stand by.
The Y-Wing is always my ship of
Fine.
choice in Battlefield
Copy.
2.
Red Cross standing by.
Well, I mean, if you're into bombers versus fighters, yeah.
Hunter 5, standing by.
German
That was
And
German.
he's supposed to have our wing.
Red Baron standing by.
That has the pizza.
Nice having the X-wings do that spin and the Y-wings just do the coming up over the ridge.
Yeah.
Stay sharp.
Yes.
It's a brilliant way to say, yeah, they're all spaceships, but these ones not only look different, but they handle different. It's good
Yeah,
show,
these are
don't
the
tell.
nimble stun fighters. These are the heavy boys.
Yeah,
Accelerate
very
to
well
top
done.
speed.
Let's go.
Stabilize your rear defrosters.
Intensify forward
Watch for
deflectors.
enemy fretters.
Where's my deflectors?
I've lost R2.
Oh no!
That's a lot of eyeball.
Make sure the capacitor.
Stay on target.
Focus.
Make sure the capacitor is fluxing.
Focus.
Stay on target.
Loosen up.
It begins.
Shooty boom boom. Oh, that's nice.
Fucking love that!
Well done.
It's like that 3 seconds of just we're focusing out, and then all you see are the flashes, and then it gets it.
Yeah, that's beautifully done.
All fighters, loosen up.
Decision.
Oh, that is so fucking cool.
You know how when people
First group
complain
is headed
about
for
this
the
stuff,
bombers.
it's, oh, how can you hear all that stuff in outer space? I have a reason.
Right on then.
Because we're not in space. What?
Well, no, it's
Biv, you still with
how
me?
can you hear the lasers? How can you hear the engines in outer space when the sound doesn't blah, blah, blah? Well, the thing is, they've all got comms open. And what they're hearing isn't the engines, they're hearing the interference that the engines creates in the comms. Same thing with the lasers.
Yep. That actually makes the better.
And they would be able to hear the firing from their own vehicles.
Yes, they'd hear the capacitors discharge and whatnot.
Yeah, due to direct conduction through the solid surface.
Yeah. And the rest is just interference.
There are some brilliant shots in sci-fi where they intentionally put you the viewer into the emptiness of space, and there's complete, like, almost silence while something's going on, and that's adds a greater effect.
Yeah.
Like I said,
Oh, that is epic.
Switch to targeting computer.
Come on.
See, and that's how you fucking deliver a payload.
Lights out.
I'll get your payload.
I'm sure you do, Mitch.
Canyons.
They're all
Imperial
fried
shuttle
up.
is
Skipper,
shut down.
target disabled. Time to call in the chopper.
Marauder, this is lead.
You are clear to start your approach.
Okay, I found something that bugged me.
This is Marauder. Copy that.
Chopper.
We're on our
shuttle
way.
falling down.
No, putting his hand up to the side of the helmet to speak, that bothered me.
All fighters, pull away from the target area.
I'm pinned down. There's too many of them. 5, 6. Where's my cover?
Aaron, don't let me down. I'm on it.
This is it.
Can't see him.
Turn right and cut into the axis on my mark.
Damn it, Aaron, where are you?
Come on, don't be an asshole.
3, 2, 1.
What? Russ, you can't breathe!
Where the hell are you going?
Alright, I gotta admit, this space battle looks epic.
Let's flip.
Yes, it does.
The drifting TIE fighters is a nice touch.
Well, I mean, even with the notion of inertial compensators for the Star Wars universe, you're going to have some skid and drift in space. Inertia exists.
Yes.
Even if you have electronics to try and counter it, it's not going to be perfect.
Right.
Even if you can make it perfect for the pilots.
Yeah.
The TIE fighters crash.
Alright, he's a fucking hothead.
But you can also tell he's got a bit of tinnitus going on. Sounds like a bit of PTSD, but he's fighting through it. Because you can hear like the background of like the shit he's been through before.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
So everything he's doing in this one, from what it sounds like, is he's been through missions to where he's succeeded because he is a better pilot. But the people he was with didn't, so he's not listening exactly to them to try to keep everyone else alive.
Hold position.
Yeah, and
They're
pardon the
really-
fun, he's on autopilot. He's reacting.
Yeah,
while
he's got full body muscle memory, even in his brain, essentially. They're doing a really good job of showing, not telling, why the X-Wing was called a stunt fighter.
Let's make it 3.
Yes. While with the workhorse of the fucking Rebel fleet.
Rebellion.
There she is.
Yeah.
Target in sight.
The Rebellion fleet, my bad.
A220.
I mean, it is the jack of all trades.
Pretty much.
It is literally called in universe the workhorse of the Rebellion.
Yeah.
And the Empire decided to go with TIE fighters because they were just a lot cheaper.
Cheap and easy to produce.
Did not give a shit about their.
No built-in life support. No.
But when when your army is literally replenishable, you don't have that issue.
This guy's nothing but trouble.
Yeah.
He's jeopardizing the entire.
See, the
No
only
care for human
Set
life.
patrol perimeter.
I take issue with the X-Wing because it makes no sense to have the
What you have to do.
the laser weapons outboard the way they are. That's why I like the TIE fighters, because they're centerline. where they
Easier
should be.
maintenance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it does make firing activity trickier because you with them
Give me a close
on the
circle.
wingtips, you have to give it a 0 point for firing.
Right.
Which means the pilot or the maintenance guy has to pick where is this actually going to be shooting.
Exactly. That's the one issue I have with X-Wings. And it's unfortunate because they look great. It's a great design visually. But realistically,
the other thing it does though is it completely separates the entire weapon dynamic from the rest of the vehicle. You can't like hit one or two spots and disarm it.
Right.
Yeah, and there's
pros and cons.
There are, but the A-Wing, for example, is a much better design.
But the A-Wing is a very different fighter. The X-Wing, being that multi-purpose, it has a hyperdrive, it has longer range communication, shield. Like TIE fighters don't even have shields.
Right.
But X-Wings have a full shield generator and everything. So when the quad laser battery is firing, it's giving at its maximum capacity, gives off almost as much damage as a turbo laser battery, which in the Star Wars universe is actually a big deal. So the fact that these quad lasers are firing and having them so close to the fuselage, where the hyperdrive, shield generator, life support, all that extra junk is on the ship, it's twofold. One, so it doesn't overheat other systems, and B, that if a cannon shorts out, it won't destroy any of the other systems. In fact, they can function if all four wings are blown up.
Yes.
Not the lasers can function, the ship can.
Right. And you know,
that's from the
you'd think it would be more utilized as a way to take out larger ships instead of being fighter on fighter.
Well, no, A-Wings are definitely fighter to fighter.
Yeah.
A-Wings
but
are
the Y-Wing is designed
interceptor. Their speed and light firepower. Even on the A-Wings,
oh shit!
The lasers are mounted on the farthest outer edges. They're mounted on swivels so that the pilot has a greater range of control over zeroing it in real time.
We'll see. The design could have been better, but it looks so badass. I don't care.
I am right
agree.
Like I said, my big issue with the X-Wing is practicality in certain circumstances.
But I mean, as an all around, it makes very good.
Like I could see the X-Wings being deployed against something like a cutter more than other fighters' wings.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they can handle themselves against in fighter-to-fighter combat, but they can also take out smaller freighter cruisers.
Right.
Squad of them could take it down an Imperial Star Destroyer, which is quite the feat.
That's where they. I think that's where their functionality is best served.
Yeah, but you still have the specialized, like Y-wings. You know, one Y-wing can take down an ISD, no problem. The right.
T6, route all power to the engine.
The problem is getting it close enough to. Again, it's the heavy boy. It's the big.
Exactly.
And
it's got the firepower.
Squadron of
the big deal, but
without having some serious horseshoes shoved up their ass.
Yeah, you can't go toe to toe with the ties, so it's got to have the support, and it's got to keep an eye out for the turbo laser batteries on the Star Destroyer, but it's got the firepower to do it.
Support is on backup.
Another example of a good starfighter design
this time.
That would probably rival the X-Wing, but it's a different universe entirely. It's a different franchise. The Colonial Viper.
Oh, that was always one of my favorites.
This guy's a goof. Mustache guy. He's not
mustache has never helped.
The other guy was actually really good. He's one of the guys who doesn't speak up like a English. But the way that he's able to deliver his lines,
there are only two careers that legitimately employ the use of a mustache. One is cop, the other is porn star.
What about lumberjack?
Well,
that's a full beard.
Remember, we need him alive.
Open the blast door.
It was just like vibe check, flashbang.
Because Wilford Grimley definitely rocked the most head.
Oh, that's a different thing. No, there
okay,
are,
so finally the Star Destroyer is getting involved. Okay. I thought we were just going to sit there and do nothing.
And the TIE bombers. Real equivalent to the Y-Wing.
I see them.
Doesn't have the range of the Y-Wing, but it's...
No, but the torpedo complement that thing fucking carries?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's got the firepower.
It has shield.
Lead. Where's the skipper?
Yeah, got a shield. It's got the firepower to match.
But you also have to imagine, I mean, just look at the way the squadron's laid out. Like, you've got like 20 TIE fighters for every one bomber.
We won't make it in time.
If they needed to, they could literally put up a shield break off the attack and engage those bombers. TIE fighters to intercept.
Almost there.
I disengage and we lose him.
All right, 6. 10 seconds. That's all I can give you.
Negative. It
That's all
didn't
I
go
need.
in. Just impacted on the surface.
Stay on, Red.
I had that same problem when well, never mind.
Skippy, do a barrel roll.
They came from behind.
Came from behind.
Great kill.
Now get those bombers.
I'm hit.
Where's the fat, sweaty guy?
Great.
Where's Porkins?
Where's Porkins?
He couldn't pull up.
The fat, drooling, sweaty guy with the Cheeto dust on his uniform.
They're German?
Oh, okay.
Lead.
In that case, they should be wearing ugly shirts, shouldn't they?
No kill. Target is
Still active and he's heading for the skipper.
Ugly shirts from like the 80s and 90s.
Should be techno music
That's an
blasting
order.
in the cockpit.
affirmative.
Sergeant, report.
We cleared the crew compartment. Officers locked themselves in on the bridge.
You
Understood.
cleared the
Blow
crew
your way in.
compartment.
Like this should be a rush job. Like they shouldn't even be doing this shit. Like y'all got a second wave of fighters coming.
This guy's like, oh, I've got a headache.
I have a headache this big.
His name is Chip Von Wreckage.
Yeah, it's him. Back to finishing.
Main antagonist. See that? Oh, I love it when they do that.
What, when they circle in this way?
Well, when they use inertia and they just shift like they drift, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, that is fucking stupid. Like you, all right. Oh. Okay, that's one way to get him out.
Well, Tyr, you must have missed it. Like the ship was completely like out of power.
Get your hands off me!
The guy's basically just slowly gonna suffocate.
That's
at
him.
this point.
Now get back in.
Well,
double time.
even then, you have theoretically you have a bigger threat attacking a larger ship. He is incapacitated. He is nothing right now.
Kind of pilot.
Go fucking help the other ship.
Should they wave at each other, or?
But he's the big antagonist. He's the big bad guy in this.
He's the Red Baron.
He's the Red Baron.
Red Baron.
Hatred.
He like rebels in it. This is what he lives for. Just being a sadistic son of a bitch. Which I love the fucking lenses of this moment too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Just
ridicule.
gives him that added touch of just this guy's a
And a small bit of fuselage drifting there with two perfectly functional cannons on it.
Yeah, he could have at least attacked back. It doesn't work like that. That's not how the lasers in this universe works. They can fire all day long.
Well, they can fire until the capacitors need to recharge.
Yeah, but
Which is a fairly long time in this universe, yes, but it's not absolute.
yeah, but most of the time it's pretty much. Like for the length of a battle.
Well, depending on the battle.
Yeah.
Maybe more like the length of a firefight.
Okay.
Incoming.
And of course, in space, they'll be able to. They're more bound by recharge the thermal limit because absolute zero.
Fuck out of here, handlebar. I do like the inclusion of the Rogue One spell.
Yeah.
They're firing again. Do something.
I can't.
I need to try.
He could.
Yeah.
Now they've got a dozen of them.
Calculate the run to hyperspace because they can't follow.
Finally, the Y-Wings just sort of come back.
I wonder why they don't have a space version of chaff or something like that.
A what?
That'd be more like flare.
You know, flares, chaff, that kind of shit. Countermeasures.
Certain ships in the certain ships in this universe do.
There we go.
Yeah.
Hello to countermeasures.
Yeah,
it is.
There we go.
This would be something more like that.
This is what I'm talking about.
Did she go boom?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
That's what I mean. Something.
Well, she just dropped a spread of thermal detonators behind.
But Mitch, that compartment back there is specifically for the free detritus that they can drop as chaff.
So long, hunters. That's all we can do for now.
In another fan film,
See you on
they
the other
actually
side.
use that, and one of the pieces of metal goes through the TIE fighter's cockpit through the pilot's head.
I'm on my last legs.
Yeah.
I can't stay with you much longer.
Well, that's not the only thing that Island would be able to do there. I mean, they're comparatively sitting ducks to TIE fighters. You've got the heavier shields. They could put a screen up for a short time. And if they,
Not today.
Oh shit!
That was fun.
It's right back
You must have just hit him before he could make it to light speed.
He slagged the droid.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
And the reason why they carry droids is so they can do real-time calculations of hyperspeed coordinates.
yeah, the droid is the hyperspace
Computer, essentially.
navigation.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
And on-site
What
repairs.
happened? Why did we drop out? Where are we?
Although
G6?
hitting the droid shouldn't have forced him to drop out of hyperspace once he's engaged to a course in time.
Yeah, well,
Unless it
probably
also
was
damaged
sort
the
of like-
hyperdrive.
Yeah, unless it damaged the
feedback.
hyperdrive itself.
Well, he was.
If it damaged the hyperdrive, nobody knows where he is.
No.
Right.
And now?
Probably just some big feedback.
And now I am stuck out in the nowhere.
We have speed and vector. And it can be anywhere from...
The outer rim to the inner core.
Yeah.
It can be anywhere from 1 kilometer to 5,000 light years along that line.
Oh, look, he's near Melicor.
Yeah, I mean, because the way that their FTL works in Star Wars is there's certain hyperspace lanes. So to get from system to system,
This is Hunter
you have to
6.
get
Anybody
into
out
one of
there?
these lanes and then follow that course. So a lot of the calculations are where you're going from your point to the hyperspace lane. The lane itself doesn't take much work. And then when you're exiting the hyperspace lane to somewhere else...
What? There's a traitor?
Don't let me down.
Well, they've got those lanes largely for the private and commercial. It's a little bit broader for military stuff.
Yes.
But it's the navigational thing because of the hyperspace structure in the Star Wars universe in canon, at least before Disney did their stupid hyperspace skipping, is literally hyperspace doesn't exist inside a gravity well. And a faster ship can get closer to the core of the gravity well before falling out. But you get too close to a planet, to a star system, to a star, or a black hole, you're going to fall.
And that's... The interdictor cruisers were the post-trilogy
Gravity well
Star Wars.
generators.
Yeah. They had 4 gravity well generators on them. They were basically just small Star Destroyers, and that's what made the Empire still a threat, even though they were greatly diminished. Because they had that kind of way to literally rip people out of hyperspace.
You just want to see it all burn.
Prevent them from jumping out of hyperspace.
Go ahead and do it. Just leave now. I'm dead.
Yeah, so they use that to stop. Well, I mean, they could use it to stop traffic, to stop commerce. They could also use it to stop attack fleets and everything, pull them out of hyperspace prematurely.
Yep.
But you end up with,
I lost T6, and I need him to operate the hyperdrive.
because of all the dangers involved.
So what do I do now?
Normal commercial traffic had specialized established lanes of navigation. And would have to fall out near the edge of the system and fly in on the regular power, whereas military craft and ones with special permits would just basically go, we're going to aim straight for the planet or straight for the core of the system, and we'll fall out as close as the hyperdrive lets us.
Ross, can your droid send a call?
One of Thrawn's greatest maneuvers was he positioned a single interdictor and then had basically split up his fleet on either side of where they're going to pull out this big rebel, or I guess Republic attack. And then they pull them out. They're like, hey, there's nothing here. We can easily beat these Imperials. And then all of a sudden behind them, they're just getting
smashed. That's it. Can he get to us?
Yeah, Thrawn was a motherfucking beast.
Got the hammer and the anvil, and he was
It's your lucky day.
unstoppable.
Stuck in the wreckage.
Oh, this ought to be a
Then
fun little
we
maneuver.
have to get your droid there to cut him free.
Sure. He'd rather watch you climb out and burn while a dozen eyeballs open fire.
Oh, I love it. They picked up the pilot parlance.
We kill them.
Oh, yeah, right. We killed him. Are you insane?
Yep. Guess you'll find out.
16 against 2 in open space. Do you know how to count?
No, but I know how to change territory.
I like that. I like that. Do you know how to count? No, but I know how to change territory, and that's fucking brilliant.
I like that he has no fucks to give.
Yeah.
Now take the back seat and cover my 6. What? And better stay close.
I like that. Instead of being gun ho to die, all right, let's reduce their numbers by using the planet.
I once saw Han Solo do this in a movie.
When I used to play video games, when I would lean, it would help.
Well, I hear this guy used to dust crops and bullseye wompats in his
G16 back home.
Whoa! How about a heads up?
Heads up.
I love it. It's like the plucky rebel fighter and the grizzled PTSD riddled war veteran.
There's an expendable quality to that guy's dialogue.
And I like that. Look, and again, he's not trying to fight him. He can't win. He knows that, so he's going to reduce their numbers to make it even.
Get them as well,
or at least more even.
Yeah.
And that is why kinetic weapons would work against TIE fighters every day of the week.
Mm-hmm.
And sure, the pilot doesn't. The fighter doesn't have a self-contained
environment.
It does not have life support. The pilot wears that. It can be punctured to the side, and the pilot survives because he's in vacuum anyway. Mm-hmm. But you nick that suit,
he's fucked.
Yep.
Or you get one of those micrometeorites right through the middle of it. It'll go right through his helmet.
That's enough gravel.
And that 16 has been reduced to what number?
Are we through?
Possibly.
Well.
Oh, wait.
Calm down.
Ross, are you alright? Ross? 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 Where is everybody? Ross! Ross, are you alright? Ross?
Do you copy?
What?
Are you alright?
Are you alive?
Am I what?
I'm fucked.
Even the
but
droid
alive.
is like, this guy's losing his shit.
I guess we're still around.
That look at the droid is perfect.
He had the motherfucker look.
I was thinking the droid was just like, what the fuck, man?
Oh, God damn it, Charlie.
Did we get them all?
He's like, hey, we're going to talk after this.
All but one. But he looks beaten up.
No, that is the droid is. I'm gonna cuss you out, and you're gonna
We're gonna
listen.
hug ourselves to the big rock ahead.
And
I'm gonna sit strongly worded
it is
man.
all profanity.
I'm going to so report you to Harris after this one. You're getting so court martial.
2, 1, now.
Which way did he go? Which way did he go?
Now it's 2 against 1.
Imperial fighter, this is 4 guns on your 6 speaking. Clear the area, or I will shoot you down.
Why?
Shoot him.
Just shoot.
So
Yeah.
what? Kill him.
I'm not sure. He doesn't shoot or jink or anything.
Take that shot.
He's just wasting your time, waiting for his friends to dive down on us.
Motherfucker!
Just buying time.
Now focus. I've got a plan.
Oh, you got a plan.
Yeah, because your last 3 plans worked out so well.
Well, I mean, if you tuck them in nose to tail, first one screens all forward, second one screens all rear, and you make a debris field for the TIE fighters. I mean, that's not a bad plan, though you're going to get some damage.
Well, 6 to 16 from 16, that's not a bad number.
No, waste of time. Shut it and do your thing.
Down in the front row.
Yeah.
Surprise. Oh.
He needs to learn to handle shots better.
Okay, I like that.
Lit up an ambush.
Now that's what I call teamwork.
Now this is pod racing.
Oh,
I
shut up.
knew that was
I was actually thinking, going, now that's what I call music.
I'm loving these wide shots.
And go home.
Yeah. The air quotes camera work.
Yeah.
Fucking fantastic.
Yeah, very well done on this.
Like I said, you can get past the. This is obviously not their first language that they're acting in.
I mean,
Yes.
it's better than
Yeah.
other dubbing I've seen before, so.
Well, it's better than anything that's happened since The Force Awakens, including The Force
I mean,
Awakens.
you could even explain it in universe, though. I mean, if they've been stationed on a planet for a while or come from a similar area, their basics going to be accented with that particular dialect. So, you know, you hang around together long enough, you live in the right area long enough, you're going to pick up the same kind of accents. It's explainable. It doesn't take you out of immersion.
Right.
Well, not even that. Like here, even in the same Boston accents is different from Baltimorean accents. We're from the same country, so that doesn't bother me at all.
We might need those guns.
I mean,
I don't
like,
care
like I
how.
said,
Just get it done.
a good story can survive bad effects and bad acting. And this, I'm not saying this acting is bad, but I can imagine where the accents would be off-putting for some people. But it's not putting me off at all.
I wasn't specifically saying like the accent itself. I was just saying the interaction of their emoting and their dialogue delivery.
Don't get him.
Just a deserter.
Especially not
That's not a
Ross,
deserter.
this
He's
guy.
heading for the wreckage.
Sometimes it's a little weird.
We need your droid
the
up
lines
there
he's
anyway.
delivering and the
I'll
facial
keep you
expression
clear.
he's giving.
Yeah,
it
but
just
it's
doesn't
not
match.
Just a
terrible.
little off. It's not bad. No.
I
Just
got
a
used
little
to it.
off.
I mean, we're not talking about a Hollywood production. They're doing better than a lot of Hollywood productions. So
Well, that's what I mean.
Yes.
They're doing a lot better. And a lot of stuff out of
Better
Disney.
than that
Mommy's so
one
proud.
movie we watched where it's like, oh, you're acting so hard.
Well, exactly, like Kylo Ren, that's acting really hard, you know? And it shows. Kylo Ren is a shit character. Unfortunately, stuck on a good actor.
Yes.
Yeah, it was like Adam Driver got stuck.
He's
I
got
would
skill,
still
but he's
maintain
wasted in that role.
some of the best acting we've ever gotten in Star Wars has been in The Mandalorian. But that's because of the caliber of actor that they've been able to put into that movie that year. You get like Carl Weathers,
Gina Carano,
Giovanni, what's his name?
Giovanni Ribisi.
No.
Yeah.
I wish
Guy from
I
Breaking
loved
Bad.
that.
Timothy Oliphant.
No, the black dude.
What was that? No, that was Boba Fett.
Giancarlo Esposito.
Oh, yeah.
He plays the main antagonist.
For at least the first season.
Moff McBad guy.
Moff Gideon.
Gideon,
And
yes.
even
People
his
say
little
you're
science
unstable,
guy,
erratic,
really
and
good
dangerous.
actor.
They say you're a threat.
And again, they're working with subpar material.
Ross, you're the only one who knows what really happened. If I ask
Hi,
you to be a
BG.
wingman in my squad,
Hey, BG.
going to let me
Hello,
down?
BG.
Yo, BG.
No.
It's just a black screen now, or is that something on my end failing? Oh, there it is. Okay.
Getting a black screen.
I just wonder if it was a black screen or something on my end failed.
No, it's a. They're going to just the dialogue effect.
Oh, no, I must have turned on my webcam and closed my eyes. Sorry about that.
No, it was black because there was voiceover exposition.
Yeah.
Of him bringing Ross into the crew.
Russ, it's the Black Ace. He's not dead.
They call him the Black Angel?
Right, brother.
No, the Black Ace.
Ah.
Not good.
The Space Red Baron.
Yeah.
Which is ironic
Space
because
Baron.
Ross's X-Wing is painted red and the Black
Right.
Ace is TIE Fighter.
My brother comes up with, I know he's Russian, but everybody
Damn,
sounds
Ross,
like different
where are
degrees
you?
of Dolph-Lundgren. I don't think that Dolph-Lundgren is Russian.
That's the
I
other
think he
benefit
Austrian.
of the TIE Fighter or the X-Wings. 4 engines, they don't need all 4 of them for propulsion.
I thought he was like Swedish or Norwegian or some shit.
I don't recall.
That'll buff out.
He lost another wing.
That's fine.
No, he's Swedish.
Flying away
Okay.
on a wing and a prayer.
Man, some of these guys be holding grudges.
Like my main point was that even with something I love as much as Mando, these guys seem to do their fighter battle and things a lot better than anything done in Disney.
Oh, yes.
Well, because Disney thinks it can't do no wrong.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Okay, I was
they
gonna say,
purchased Star Wars and they thought they wouldn't have to try.
That's one hell of a payload.
I was gonna say, brother, just because he played a Russian does not make him Russian. He's actually Swedish/American, apparently.
Whoa, that was great! You really got them all!
And head-to-head between
Two
an
engines,
X-Wing and a
one
TIE fighter
wing.
always
Ross, are you
favors
okay?
the X-Wing.
Ross?
Don't die. Don't be dead. Don't be dead. Don't be dead.
Ross, do you read me? Ross, do you read me?
Hello, Russ, are you there?
Again,
Are you
to
there?
Nich's point, show don't tell. They're doing a really good showing of this guy who's had some shit.
Nope, he's alive.
I like the droid.
No, it's the that's the wing commander's droid.
Yeah, my human's an idiot too.
Yeah, at least mine's alive.
Just bring him back, not just his head.
I mean, the head is where the all the calculations are done.
Well, yeah, but he could have just disconnected the whole droid from the ship.
Well, it depends on the damage to the ship.
That's true. That is true.
Yeah.
Because it could have been stuck in a situation it's like, yeah, the droid can't be ejected, but we need the brain.
Yeah, I mean, you can't just take the head and
But
go
that's-
weld it to another droid.
That's why he was cutting him out of the chassis, because there was damage. He wasn't cutting off his head. That was just a joke.
Okay.
Ah, son of a bitch. Like, will you not just fucking die?
Ooh, Blackie? Nah. Black don't crack.
What the? Okay. Stuck looking at each other.
They collided.
They collided, but head-on-head always favors the X-Wing.
It wasn't head on
True,
head,
but-
it was wing to wing.
Oh, there we go. Wow.
Or
Wing to wing favors the X-Wing
wing
too.
to cockpit.
This is why you need a sidearm.
Looks like your shooting days are over,
I
right?
carry a sidearm.
What did you expect?
So
Pilots
fucking
carry
crazy.
blasters.
Be great if you could channel
You
energy
kill
to
all my
that,
friends?
to that one cannon that's pierced the TIE fighter
come back
and
and
fire
kill
it.
you.
Yeah. Does that one
It's a
still
fight to the death,
shoot?
And in the end, you get shot down.
In the end, there can be only one.
Message!
That's the way it goes.
Reference.
You left us with no choice. You made us fight. Fire with flame. And hate.
Wait, that if you fight fire with fire, everybody ends up burned.
Yeah.
Right?
You made us bury
That's
our
been
kindness,
I'm the doctor.
our remorse, our mercy.
Things I have any kindness and mercy? Wow.
I wish he would.
Did I see movement in the cockpit?
That's what I thought. I wish he would stick out his finger and go,
To
fuck
fight to the death.
you.
We're not meant to live beyond this war.
Well, there's a snow Mexican standoff.
And there's no coming back.
No, it's a space Mexican.
When kind hearts turn cold and gentle hands become clenched fists.
Wait, is this guy claiming he ever had a kind heart or a gentle hand? Because I'm getting confused.
Maybe
It doesn't
maybe he
matter
did.
What remains of us.
Maybe he was a painter.
Maybe he's
Doesn't
Bob
matter
Ross.
if we win the war.
Exactly.
The only thing that matters
I had
No,
a great
think-
public access cable
To
show,
make you
you
lose.
bastard.
That's red, white, and blue, and more Austrian paint.
Oh, they're gonna play chicken now.
One last.
Proton torpedo.
now.
shit, he fired the fucking...
Oh, nice.
He headed astromech, Ballistic projectiles are terrible on TIE fighters.
Love it.
That was a genius move.
And it really hammers home that point of the Rebel Alliance. Like, they will keep fighting even when they have no weapons to speak of. They'll throw anything and everything at you.
Yeah, it's like when Riker said, if necessary, can someone arrange for us to throw some rocks at them?
Yeah.
Weaponized math for the win.
Second, or was it first or second World War? It could fire everything and the kitchen sink.
Yeah.
Did it freeze?
What happened?
What?
They back? Where'd they go?
I think
that was odd.
Oh, okay.
No, I didn't press anything. It just kind of jumped.
No, it's not you. It's just the connection.
It's the movie.
No, it's the connection. It buffered for a second there.
Oh, did it? I didn't catch that.
Neither did
I just got where the movie went black.
Well, I've seen this before, so I know that wasn't the same as the earlier black shot of the monologue.
Oh, well, sorry about that.
No, it's not your fault.
Get a good internet here. Get a good internet.
I do have a good internet. It's just raining outside.
The mechanics are going to be pissed.
As good as it gets.
Yeah.
So let's get out of here.
Don't remind
What
me.
do you do to my beautiful ship?
Fucking crew chiefs, EW, ComNav, everyone.
think
Like,
the others are
I'm
still
glad
with
you made it back, but like, fuck, dude, we're buying a new X-wing.
Oh shit! Now they throwing everything at this goddamn two guys.
Glad you made it back, because after what you did to our X-Wing, we're gonna kill you.
I want the last line of the movie to be right here and for one guy to say to the other, I have an idea.
They're pretty close. You think we can make it?
You lead.
Make a miracle.
I got your wing.
Yeah,
Oh god, that bravo!
I prefer I have an idea, but
That's a great one to end off too.
That was a good place too.
Yeah. Oh, we're gonna have fun with the review portion on this one, I think.
All right, I'll be back in. I gotta use the restroom real quick.
Right on.
Alex, why did I think he repaired my car's engine last year? So
Really, really happy we got to watch this because, like, science fiction is my bread and butter, my passion. Not to say I don't like other film, but like just science fiction, as you can tell, like I'm just all in on it.
I love my science fiction, but Disney's kind of put me off of Star Wars.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, Disney has turned Star Wars to shit.
I'll be right back.
The same way that that Secret Hideout has turned Star Trek to shit.
A bad reboot.
Them too.
There are a few ones I want to chats that came in while we were doing the movie. So the droid is a slave robot meant to guide the higher ups, and when they are killed because they are left in the open, the pilot doesn't know what to do. Well, no, it's not. They're not necessarily slaves. Some have symbiotic relationships.
We should probably start by explaining the counterpart relationship between
an astrometric droid and a human.
the relationship between R2D2 and C3PO. They're counterparts. They've worked together so often that they've developed a version of a rapport like two people would.
Mm-hmm.
So they work really well together. They can anticipate each other, et cetera, et cetera. Now,
have communication shorthand.
Well, it's like how Data puts it in TNG. You eventually become so accustomed to their presence,
to their input. Yes.
Yeah, that them not being there then becomes noticeable. But sorry.
Now, to expand upon that point about the counterpart status, Luke Skywalker's X-Wing and R2-D2 worked together so often that they got near to that kind of status. They were nearly counterparts. And, because Luke wouldn't have any other droid in his X-Wing.
Yeah.
Which is
and and R2 notoriously doesn't get memory wipes like other droids might.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a couple steps above your typical astromech. And on that note, Luke's X-wing, also when you watch or read B canon and everything, it's heavily modified. It's his X-wing.
It's like a personalized, that's his personal fighter.
Yeah, and it's not uncommon. Say, even though droids other than R2 are more likely to get memory wipes, because of the relationship between the pilot and the astromechs are less likely to get memory wipes than a lot of other droids.
Right, but the droids get memory wipes because they start getting flighty and weird.
Yeah. Well, again,
as long as they function normally, they're going to keep their personality. They're going to keep that relationship between the pilot, the fighter, and the droid.
And it's kind of a fluke when it comes to
more
R2.
efficient.
Well, you can even point to in the Phantom Menace when the astromech go out there and R2 saves the day. The Queen rewards him, hey, clean this one up, polish this one. She rewarded it. It's not a slave relationship. It clearly did a service and it got rewarded.
Well, it is a slave relationship because they're servants, but they're not sentient. It's hard to there's a sentience to them, but they are a subspecies basically.
It's an artificial intelligence sentience.
Yes.
You about to say something, Angela?
Yes, I was going to say, I think you have to look at it more of an indentured servitude than an actual slavery.
Mm-hmm.
They were created to serve a purpose. That's what they're programmed for. So
right, like 3PO being a protocol droid. There's no pay in it, so it's slavery. If you want to look at it that way, I mean, it's not like he's getting a bank account.
But what would he use money for? What would he use credits for?
Oh, new parts.
But he
gets those parts anyway from his owners.
What is programming? But the
beginnings of a personality matrix.
Well, no, it's the purpose. You're instilling purpose into it. We as sentients, we have this ability, this wonderful, almost some would say miraculous or highly ordained ability to self-determine, to give ourselves a purpose. A lion's purpose is to be a lion. A cat's purpose is to be a cat. A duck's purpose is to be a duck. These droids, they're just machines, so they have to be given these purposes, and they're more like personality matrices tend to, because there's always exceptions, align with their purpose. So somebody like a protocol droid, I know C-3PO was later retconned to be the personal construct of Anakin Skywalker, but your typical protocol droid has to be able to speak eloquently with a large vocabulary and obviously in multiple languages and all this blah blah blah. So they're going to be very good and very wordy, whereas astromechs, they're very technical minded. Everything to them in their personality matrices is very based on their function, which is to repair and analyze and do calculations. So they think very pragmatically, very singularly focused.
Tyr, I'm going to say no to your statement just now that they're like pets. They're more like toys, only created with a more specialized purpose. They're more like if you think about it, a toy is just this thing. It becomes what the person playing with it makes it.
I'll counter that. So essentially, if any other droid would do, then why aren't we always trading up? We never see Luke use any other droid but R2. We only see him use that.
For the same reason,
it's like a pet.
Get rid of our favorite toy.
It's like a pet.
Well, it's not. I'd say more tool than toy. I mean, I don't want to.
They're smart tools.
For example, there's a specific type of mouse I like to use with my computer. And
but if
I won't go back to a regular mouse ever again because this works for me.
But
So
Mitch,
even if I
mouse
get a new
breaks-
one, it's going to be the same style. I would say that droids are kind of the same thing.
But if your mouse breaks, you're not gonna go get the parts to replace it. You're gonna get a new mouse.
Sometimes it depends on what breaks, doesn't it?
Yeah, it depends on the cost and the effort into the repair versus replacing it with exactly the same thing. But
Right.
Luke
And how
had a
skilled
special
you are at
attachment
repair.
to R2 was unique in the universe as a droid who was uniquely
Like a pet.
trusted by everyone who functioned as his owner and master and was never memory wiped.
Again, like a
And-
pet.
It does not work like a pet. because
It did.
A smart tool. It's got a function. I have a Leatherman that I have had for easily 25 years, and there are upgrades I could get to it. There are replacements that would be a better multi-tool and everything. And until the thing physically breaks beyond repair, I'm not.
You're not trading up.
I'm not trading up.
Now let's
Not like a master slave. It's closer to a master servant relationship where the droid is compensated in kind for its purpose. I mean, R2 has been repaired and upgraded. He's been upgraded mechanically, the electronics, but not brain wiped and brain replaced times without number at this point.
Yeah,
And
he holds his
there
master's
is-
lightsaber.
But a closer analogy would be they're much closer to what we would use, like our smartphone, but with they have different bodies, so they're able to move on their own, and they have a built-in heuristic algorithm which allows them to think more. It's like if you were to turn on your phone right now and be like, "Hey Siri" or whatever, like that's kind of the closest thing we have. Like in reality, we're almost there. We're almost to the point where, you would be able to have a Roomba with voice activation, and that's your very first humanity's very first interactable droid.
Yeah, but the way you're
I wouldn't consider
describing
any of that pets though, and
yeah, Roomba's not a pet,
machinery
and it's
that
also
we're
not a
using
slave.
right now.
Well,
the machinery
again,
we're
it
using
would be
right
a
now
smart
is a
tool.
combination of mechanical machinery,
All right,
electronic.
let me better explain it this way. Hold on, function. Let me explain it this way. So, what about horses? Are horses pets?
They can be.
Don't they provide a function? Like my favorite plow horse. I take care of my favorite plow horse.
Well, no,
right?
you're
Okay, I'm gonna jump in here. Did you build the horse and put in the parts that think for it?
No, but I brought its mother and its father together to have that horse.
That is not.
It was through my it's through my efforts that horse was created.
That is not
There's
the
horse
same thing.
breeding. There's you said is it a pet? But then you said, well, no, this is my favorite plow horse. Well, no, he might have a higher relationship than just your backhoe or something. But if he's a plow horse, he's a tool. He has a specific purpose. Now I do know.
Yeah, but don't I take
people
care of
have
him?
horses as
I feed
pets.
him.
On tier. But I know people who have horses as pets, but that's their ordained purpose is to be a pet. They're not plowing fields. They're not show horses. They're not, whatever. Like Serenity Star, she's got many animals on her farm, and most of them, yes, are pets because that is their purpose is to be to provide for and be taken care of and to give some sort of.
Okay. All right, my cat's job in my house is to hunt mice to get rid of mice.
That's an added.
No.
No,
it's
your
the same-
cat's job in your house is to own you and manage you as its human.
No, but think about it. If I have a specific function for having the cat, it is a symbiotic relationship. It is a pet. I take care of it. I love it. It comes and it comforts me just like Luke's R2. It is a pet. The best way to describe it is a pet.
We're missing the fact that things can serve more than one purpose. Things can exist in more than one context, and the pet thing could apply to a droid as well. Maybe the droid is in some cases is just a companion for you to bounce ideas off of, even if you can't understand what it says back. And with R2D2, for example, even though you can't understand what R2 says, you can get an emotional context by how he responds.
And
because the sounds he makes the sounds he make, he's worried or something. Where a bitty bit, then he's like, hey, that's a good idea. Let's go do that.
A big problem with how Disney has been treating the IP is that they've been turning almost every droid into a combination of comedy relief and pet, and that's not supposed to be what the droids are.
Right, they're leaving out the tool part.
Primarily.
But we're getting off in the weeds here, aren't we?
A lot of what they're doing with the droids, just really quick to finish on this topic, a lot of what they're doing with the droids is what Tier's trying to do, which is use them as an example of slavery. And
I'm not trying to use an example of slavery. I never said it was a slave relationship.
When I walked in,
I was reading.
Tier, let her finish, bro.
I was reading the comment from your brother.
I said Tier. When I walked in, it was being compared to a slave.
I was reading the comment.
And I just said I may have walked in and misunderstood the context. The point is, when I walked in, it was being compared to a slave. And that is what Disney is trying to do with the droid-human relationship.
All right.
That is the problem of what Disney is doing right now.
This is really an AI debate for another time in many ways.
We'll have to put a pin in this one for Saturday.
Maybe.
Fine.
That might be a good idea. It'd be because it's an interesting topic to explore, but it's not our purpose here at the moment.
Yes.
Yeah. Getting back to the universe structure, the astromechs and the starfighters and even the larger ships, they're built as smart tools with a maintenance and support role. In the starfighter level, they are the navigation for hyperspace and any large order thing. They are direct immediate repair, and they function inside whatever shielding the ship has. So they look like they're exposed to space, but that's because they don't need the atmosphere. They need to be able to reach, but the pilot of an X-wing has only marginally more protection than the astromech because he's got the canopy he's got the canopy protecting him because most of the astromech is inside the fuselage, so only his head is exposed where the pilot is inside the canopy over his head.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's so the droid has physical closeness to areas that he can repair.
Yeah, he's positioned where he needs to be able to do the maximum amount of repair function, the maximum amount of support roles, while still being inside any shielding the craft has.
Right.
He's not just treated as expendable.
Exactly.
Pilots hate not bringing back their astromech. Even ones that are just, hey, he came with the starfighter. They hate not bringing him back. That's like losing a part of themselves.
Okay.
Now,
let's get into the review.
Well, hold on.
I was going to say, if we really can't keep delving into this.
I was going to say,
yeah.
Can I do one other thing to clear things up? Because with the clown, or however they're going to go with that.
That's my brother.
Your brother said, you said master, so they are a slave. That is not always the context of master is used. I can use a different word for that. Just because someone calls me daddy doesn't mean I'm their father. You would call there are masters of specific martial arts that you would still call master.
That escalated quickly.
That did you are their slave.
You say mister and it's just say master.
You do have to look at the context and the colloquialism of it. And now we can continue on.
No, let's get into the review process. Let's start with we'll go clockwise, starting with Will.
I really enjoyed it.
Hang on, I have questions that I ask going around.
Oh, okay.
That just to keep things organized a bit. So Will, did you like it?
Yes.
All right.
I very much did.
Can we wait? Hold on. Before we continue, Can you also add in the first question? Did you like it? If you're a like general Star Wars fan or not?
Don't we usually cover that kind of thing with the final question, though?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, my mistake.
Oh, okay. I was just thinking. Yeah. Anyway, Tier, did
Loved
you
it.
like it?
Loved it.
All right. Rotncorpse, how about you?
Oh yeah, that was enjoyable.
Angela,
Totally.
Dr. Functional. I think I know your answer.
Yes, because I'm wearing a big shit-eating grin. Because so far I'm 4 out of 6, and well, now 5 out of 6.
5 out of 6. What?
People
People
who
that
liked
liked
my
his
suggestions.
recommendation.
So like, I'm wearing
okay.
a big shit-eating grin. So
Okay, right on. I liked it too. It's a fun little fan film. I liked it. Back to Will. What about this movie worked for you?
I think all around, I mean, they did a good job coming up with the storyline. The acting was better than we've seen in a lot of Star Wars. Well, the story and the acting is better than we've seen a lot of Star Wars movies recently. And, they actually tried to pay attention to the universe, come up with their own story, not rehashing episode 4, 5, and 6, 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9. They came up with something that was their own, and yeah, it plays into a German history notion a little bit, and the rivalry that you get between specific fighter pilots are one that gets a history and gets a reputation, everything, and they didn't lose they built it around a core story. Like, this is what they're trying to do in the background, and these are the twists that are happening and the things that they've got to overcome. So I mean, they built a more compelling story rather than just rehashing what worked before over and over and over again.
Groovy. Tier, what worked for you here?
I love the battle tactics. Like, it showed, like, somebody at the very least understood how combat should work in space. The acting was top notch. Even if you couldn't tell they didn't speak a lick of English, I could have been fooled. The graphics were amazing. Oh man, I think they captured the feel of like the first episode. What, 4, 5, and 6 is aesthetics with the analog looking, inner workings and everything. Chef's kiss.
Rotncorpse, what worked for you in this movie?
Honestly, I like that it relied more on practical effects. I mean, there was obviously the CGI in there that had to be in there, but they still used a considerable amount of practical effects and then just played off of the practical effects. Like, it reminded me more of the originals. Like, you could tell it was a bit more CG because of being refined, but it still had that feel of being like old school Star Wars.
Right on. Angela, what worked for you?
The acting and everything that took place on the exterior of the ships. All of those effects were fantastic.
And Dr. Functional, what worked for you?
Everything. Yeah, I mean, touching on what people have already said, like the costuming, the set design. Again, the sets are basically just cockpits, right? Like, there wasn't grand sets or anything. But the interaction, because we've seen this in a lot of modern Hollywood, is the actors who might be great actors, but they're just not acting within the environment that's now being green screened. And these people seem to, with the combination of the practical and the CGI, really were able to and the editing of the film, make it seem more realistic that they're interacting with the things that they're not physically present with.
I will agree with that. What worked for me was, I'm not sure how to express this. I'm sure there's a word they use in filmmaking, and I hope someone knows what I'm talking about. The visual dynamics of this film were just stunning and gorgeous. I don't mean just the cinematography or the visual design. I'm talking about the movement of it.
Yes. It was very sweeping, very broad. It was.
Well, you know what they did?
Yeah.
There are a lot of Hollywood filmmakers that rely on what they call the rule of cool. Zack Snyder's one of them. He's a hack. That's my opinion, and prove me wrong. Whatever.
I will do no such thing.
But a lot of these they rely on this rule of cool thing where they think, oh, this will look cool, let's throw that in there. Oh, and this will look cool too, let's throw that in there. That doesn't work nearly as well as what they did with this fan film. What they did here was they took a lot of elements of the story they were telling and they tied them together visually in a way that made sense. It was cohesive. So it supersedes the whole rule of cool thing. It's cool not because it looks cool. It's cool because it all makes sense.
It makes sense, but not only that, it fits into the universe.
Yes.
Good visual storytelling.
Yeah.
It's taking the visual medium where it's supposed to be as an expression of telling the story rather than just, hey, this is flashy.
Exactly. This is substance over style.
It's doing what you have to do to make the visual medium step up from from the written story. And this one came up. I mean, they came up with some kind of written story and storyboards for what they wanted to do, and they transcended that beyond just, hey, we're writing, we're making something that's flashy to cover.
Oh, that's
essentially
actually
a novel.
Right. That's actually pretty easily explained. Well, and the creators of South Park actually went and went to a writing class, and we're talking about that too. Predominantly, the problem with a lot of Hollywood is they have the process of when they do their storyboard, and they say it's this happens, and then this happens, and then this happens. This actually was a full. This is where it starts. Therefore, this happens, and because of that, this happens, and it all of it just snowballs into each other of cause and effect.
Right. This was a storyboard that included a story.
Yes.
Well, the creator of the film, he even says his main inspiration for how he wanted to deliver this story was the X-Wing video games of the late 90s, early aughts.
Oh, yeah.
So, and that really, if you've played those games, that's the kind of feel you get. That's why, even though this is my fourth time watching it, like as soon as it started, like I get goosebumps. I love that way of feeling.
Okay.
Those games were very solidly in the universe, in the canon, and they were very much driven with this because of that. They had a story to follow, they had a plot to follow, but it was a this because of that. This is happening because of what we did before. We have a goal in the end, and they told a story. I mean, games at the time had to tell a story.
Yeah, I got a great example where Star Wars failed.
Let her say what she had to say real quick.
Actually, I was just going to tell this Dr. Functional that he's actually leaning into my what doesn't work.
Oh, we're going to get to that. That's going to be a hard question too.
I already have an answer.
Okay, but before we get to that, I just want to point out that this beats the even the original trilogy somewhat. For example, when Han Solo says, "Don't worry, I know some maneuvers will blah blah blah," and all you see is the Millennium Falcon flying up and to the left, expressing no maneuvers whatsoever.
They're making a left turn.
Yeah,
they're making
another left turn.
We don't know how to combat the left turn, sir. And this movie just beat the shit out of it. This is an elevated kind of situation where
this is maneuvers. Han Solo was largely tricks. This was maneuvers.
Yes.
Finding the blind spot on a Star Destroyer, that's a trick.
Yeah.
Dogfighting is maneuvering.
Using your terrain as a weapon. That's fucking maneuver. That's tactics.
Well, using the fact that X-Wings have shields and TIE fighters don't. I mean, that's brilliant. Yeah. That's tactical thinking. Let's wait. How come Dr. Functional's image got weird? Oh, there it is.
I'm
I see
changing
what
it
he's
to
doing.
the poster for the movie.
Okay. Now, let's get on to the hard one. Will, what did not work for you in this film? See? It ain't easy.
Yeah, it's. I mean, you got little stupid things, but they don't really pull you out of immersion. Like you pointed out, touching the helmet, like headset and everything. No, that really, because you got everything's integrated there. There's no reason to do that unless it's somebody who became a pilot after a lot of. Let's say he was used to do a lot of ground support and ground work and everything, and then became a pilot. You might have a force of habit thing there, but I mean, it doesn't pull you out of immersion. It's just kind of stupid, unless it's a force of habit thing.
If you have to nitpick, go at it.
The way they did the torpedoes and everything for the X-wings, not so good, especially since anyone that's played the X-wing games has been in depth in the universe and everything. They carry more torpedoes than that. Okay, I get they're trying to do a visual representation of it, but unless you're down to like your last 2 torpedoes, it wouldn't display like that anyway. So it kind of, I got to pick at small things because as a whole the story works.
I know exactly.
The acting is good. The story is good. They played well to the plot. For the most part, they didn't go insane on effects. I mean, they did an amazing job of the notion of weaponized math. You've got flawed characters. There's no Mary Sue here. You get flawed characters trying to think outside the box in some cases, and all sorts of things that work in universe.
Now you're answering the last question.
I know. It's hard. It's hard to pick. You got to find these small, stupid things because, as a whole, it's a great film, and it plays to what has disappointed in the franchise for so long now, because they've gotten away from the compelling story and the compelling characters and the good acting. And yeah, they've gotten some good actors that were just saddled with bad roles and everything.
Bad roles,
but
bad directors.
It's not the.
I mean, come on, they hired Ron Howard to come in and fix Solo.
Oh Lord!
Ron Howard is not a Star Wars director.
One thing that did get me, one thing that really annoyed me, and this is picking nits for sure. Wrong engine coloration on the TIE fighters.
Okay.
The ion engines don't have the red thruster equivalent of the X-Wing's engines, and if you're paying attention to the details, it's a stupid little mistake. But the ion thrusters on a TIE fighter, it's canonical. They've got that different coloration to the thrust fire, the fire from the thrusters and everything, and it's a mistake they didn't. It's an unforced error.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that was one thing that really did nag at me the whole film. Yeah, it's picking nits, but it nagged at me the whole film.
See, those are the kinds of things that we're going to need.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard on the. This is a hard question for this film. Let's move on to Tier. Tier, what didn't work for you here?
All right, so I have 2 major issues. First off, the Black Ace. All right, I get that you're a sadistic bastard, but you have there's an enemy force attacking a ship, and you're worried about a disabled ship. It's the same issue with what was that Nicolas Cage movie with where they were the helicopter pilot?
Oh God, it's the one where he keeps shouting, "I am the greatest."
Yeah, well, it's the same issue. It's the same issue that was there. It's a down. Like technically, the enemy craft is down, and you have more enemy craft attacking
I think it's
a ship
or Firebirds.
Firebirds, I think it was, attacking a ship. Your attention should be on the ship making sure the enemy doesn't get away with like the Imperial trooper who knows this shit. Like killing him if you must. That should be your main focus. Not, oh, I'm going to be cool and circle around and kill this one guy who isn't a threat. You know, he can't do shit, so I'm gonna kill him. No, but dude.
That does play back to the character though, because he's a sadistic bastard. His only thing there is, I am a pilot. I am killing people. Yeah. I am destroying the enemy. It would make sense for a character like that to lose. Right. Well, it makes sense for him to lose track of the priorities because he gets obsessed with the kill.
I get that, but still, it's still a nitpick, and it didn't work for me because again, priorities.
Yeah.
You could taunt him once he's done.
What if we viewed it from this context? Because we have what was it, Ross?
Yeah.
Ross was dealing with all kinds of PTSD, and that was apparent. What if the TIE pilot, Black Ace, because he didn't really speak, at least not that I noticed, because we were yammering through the whole damn thing. But he didn't speak, and I'm wondering if he's got his own kind of PTSD that he's dealing with that makes him do that.
I mean, again, we didn't see that. All we saw was him. If they'd have gave us like some, like he was freaking out in the cockpit while he was looking at the guy, cool. It gives us some sort of visual representation that he's not altogether there. However, again, the priority is there. Like, you seem to be well adjusted, and you're just attacking a down ship for no apparent reason.
See, now I've got another thing that works for me, and that's because this whole thing with Black Ace, now gives us something to talk about after the film and to explore.
Okay.
Damn it.
My second nitpick.
Right? I blinked here.
Ouch. My second nitpick is the again the main Star Destroyer. It released them. It released those ships in waves, right? When it should have like released everything. Again, there is a high level kidnapping essentially going on, and you clearly see that your side is being defeated. Why aren't you releasing all your fighters all at once to wipe them out?
Because that can cause more chaos than actual helpfulness.
Yeah, again, sheer numbers.
And sheer numbers isn't always the best thing for you, because if you have far too many people of your people on the battlefield, you have a higher percent or higher likeliness of them having crossfire and shooting themselves.
But again, you don't particularly care about them because they're expendable. But he's in the person being kidnapped or being targeted is in a
They're expendable until you deplete all your forces and don't have anybody to complete the objective.
Also, having too many in there can put the higher up at risk that they'll crossfire onto themselves, causing an accident into that.
Yeah, two other aspects to that. One, Star Destroyers simply can't dump all of their fighters all at once. You've got some that are essentially on the ready line, ready to go. You fall out of hyperspace, they're ready to go. You've got the backups that are ready to go pretty fast, and you've got to prep and load and prepare the rest. And the Star Destroyers got to keep a fighter screen ready to hand for close defense on the Star Destroyer, or as Functional pointed out, Star Destroyer is a sitting duck to one or two Y-wings.
That's also hoping that all of your TIE fighters are fully mission capable and not like don't have fucking fucked up shit on them.
One of the reasons why a Star Destroyer cannot send all of its fighters out except as a last resort is they have to, the fighters have to be recovered, or they're left to die there. And even the most expendable, you don't want to lose them unnecessarily. But the Star Destroyer is a sitting duck if it doesn't keep some fighters close by, because even if you're going for redundancy, if they task two Y-wings for taking down the Star Destroyer, if they don't have a fighter screen, it is going to die.
And they're rebels, so they use guerrilla tactics. So two Y-wings could just pop out of hyperspace right then and there.
Yeah,
on top of this, like nearly enough of the Star Destroyer.
All right,
but you still hold on to but to your point, the sequences of events that happen. So they engage. They disable the Delta 9 shuttle, and once they make contact and bridge with it, the rest, most of the initial escort gets destroyed, and there's a few moments, and it's probably because again the shuttle's disabled, doesn't have communications. The Star Destroyer has to sort of figure out what's going on and get radio communication from the Wingman, the escort, and then they immediately launch that second wave of fighters, which is like twice the size of the escort. So, I mean, I understand where you're coming from. It maybe could have been condensed a little bit more, but there's good points all around.
Yeah, and it's not like the Star Destroyer is being commanded by Thrawn. Thrawn will wipes board with them anyway.
Well, not even that. Like again, like you sent out 2 bombers with the sole purpose of destroying that rebel ship. When you sent out at least 4, because with those 2, you sent out a sizable defense force for that, but they targeted those 2 bombers. Just one guy. Like they didn't even break off to take him out. If they all piled on him, they could have dropped him.
Yeah, if once they're committed to the destroy at all costs, I'll agree with you there. It doesn't make sense for them to only send 2 bombers unless they only had 2 bombers that were mission ready, and that's ludicrous to consider.
Yeah,
so you got it there.
Jesus.
The force that they sent in bombers definitely makes no sense.
All right, we ready to move on to Rotncorpse?
Oh yeah.
yes.
All right, Rotncorpse. What didn't work for you in this film?
Oh, okay, because we were supposed to go away from space wizards. Ross was flying, blacked out, going straight into a thing. Doesn't come to, but he's going upward now. As far as I'm aware of, the droids don't take over for an autopilot and that whole thing, and there was nothing showing of that. So who the fuck flew that portion of it?
It could have been the inertia.
Yeah, I forgot that.
And like that was a straight up like, not just like to where I've had it that I drank too much and I blacked out, but my body still kept functioning, but I have no recollection of what happened. I mean, the whole thing of like you black out and you are just out, like body stops.
He took his hands off the stick.
Yeah,
we don't know how long ago that was though. Like for how you could black out for a brief second.
Again, like that's the whole thing. Is like all of a sudden though, he had let go of the stick, he blacks out, we hear the whole thing, but when it comes to in the video, all of a sudden you have the X-Wing going an upward angle when he was going straight.
Well, that's just it. We don't know what happened.
But when we come back to it, his hands are still off the stick.
And we don't know what happened. Yeah, I know it. I know exactly what you mean. It's
so it'd have been like if they'd have got them into an open area and then had that, it's like where they're still going straight and had that whole thing, then it would have made sense. But they're in this area that potentially could have
he kept his hands on the stick.
Yeah. If they'd have had him keep his hands on the stick,
he's retreating.
One hand come off, but the other stays on. I could understand that.
Yeah,
he's retreating into his PTSD. He's not thinking coherently and everything, but
he's moving off instinct.
He's still moving the stick some. It even allows for autonomous movement. They made a big deal about him taking his hands off the stick, and they made a big deal about the guy kind of calling out to him and he finally answering and putting his hands on the stick and everything. Yeah, it doesn't make sense for him to not have remained on a ballistic trajectory, straight line in space during that period of time.
Right.
I did notice that. And
all we're left with is that guy got lucky.
Yeah.
And that's kind of unsatisfying.
Yeah.
That could have been one of them fragments that went through his cockpit.
Yeah, really. Was that it, Rotncorpse?
Yeah, for the most part.
Okay. Angela, what didn't work for you?
Okay. So this is going to lean into something my brother said in chat. And also what Dr. Functional was saying about the person who created it being really into the video games. All of the special effects that took place within the cockpit. The displays, the weaponry targeting things, all of that. it was very much like watching somebody play a video game. So I was sitting there just waiting for Alex and Geek to show up and say that they were there to defeat Zor and the Kodan Armada.
Didn't you hear me say, do a barrel roll, Fox?
It was just like, I am totally getting Last Starfighter vibes rather than Star Wars vibes every time they're in the cockpit and there is a special event.
Well, remember the old Star Wars had those type of analog controls, so it wouldn't surprise me that Last Starfighter had that same.
But it didn't look like you were playing a video game.
Fair enough.
Was that it, Angela?
That was it.
Okay, Dr. Functional, what didn't work for you?
Not a whole hell of a lot. But the like I said, sometimes the interaction. Sorry, not the interaction. The emoting of the actor with the lines that they were delivering. Some points, sometimes a little off because again, they're not native English speakers, and it's completely believable that there's we spoke about that in canon reason, like different dialects or whatever, so it really didn't like break it for me, but it is, and that's why I gave a little bit of the preamble that it's to us as native English speakers, it does initially come off as okay, this is kind of weird, there's something uneasy or uncomfortable about it, but it's easily set into later and you just kind of forget it's there. And the fact that the budget was 3,500 euros. That's like $3,800 US dollars.
Yeah, it's like
wow.
Basically.
And that's something I always love about fan films is that they really know how to handle a budget.
And the guy did it on his home. All the CGI is done by the one dude on his home PC with like 32 gigabytes of RAM and two 1070 NVIDIA cards and like blended.
Fucking A.
And it what didn't work for me is that somebody's not walking up to this guy's house right away. Like some rep from Disney isn't walking up to this guy and going, "Here's a dump truck full of money. Come fucking work for us." Because no, this is exactly what we need. We need people with love for the craft, love for the mythos to get behind this stuff. And
no, under the current Disney head, I would not put him in there.
Disney doesn't want somebody with this much love for the lore. That's the problem.
You're right. I could agree with you as long as it was that whole thing of like, we step aside. Like, sci-fi is a lot like horror. It does better on a budget.
Yeah.
Yep.
And if this was Disney of 10 years ago,
this is what it shows: is when you give them too much money, they fuck shit up because they want to throw everything and the kitchen sink at it when it doesn't need that.
Yeah. And
so this movie cost less than the last Star Wars pitch meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Mitch, your turn.
Okay, what didn't work for me was, it's like others have mentioned, that sometimes the line delivery came off as unnatural, but at the same time, sometimes when it came off as unnatural, it was unnatural in a very well-timed and comedic manner, and then it worked, but it's just some of the incidental stuff that just doesn't. All I can say, it felt unnatural in some spots, I guess.
Yeah, it's a little uncomfortable.
And that's, again, with the caveat that Dr. Functional gave us, it's excusable, but it is noticeable.
I guess that's where I'm a little different on that one from watching so many dubbed anime, dubbed, old freaking kung fu flicks and shit like that. The dubbing did not bother me one bit. Did it look great? No, but dubbing rarely does.
It's one of the reasons I don't like Jean-Claude Van Damme films. It's because Arnold. His accent treats English in such an unnatural manner. You ever see the movie Blind Fury with Rutger Hauer?
No.
Yes.
I don't recall.
Well, there's a part where some corrupt cops come up. Rutger Hauer's a blind swordsman in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Never mind the backstory. He's blind. He's got a sword cane, and he's damn good. He's trying to visit an old friend who is divorced from his wife, and he doesn't know that. So he shows up at the wife's house, and they've got a kid, and the wife and kid are there, and corrupt cops break in and kill the wife, and Rutger Hauer makes off with the kid, protects the kid for most of the movie. And there's a part where Rutger Hauer tells the kid, you know, that she's dead, and we have to go find your dad now. But and he does it well because Rutger Hauer's a good actor. If Jean-Claude Van Damme had been in that role, his line delivery would be like, "Your mother would not want you to be so sad, so do not cry so much."
And a lot of that also, you gotta look, it was, I don't know if it was necessarily him himself, but is the lines that he is like, is the script writer or the director.
Right. I mean, it was a bad fit. It would be a bad fit for Jean-Claude Van Damme is what I'm saying. But I get that same vibe sometimes in this thing. Not enough to shut me off it.
His thing can be terrible, but I still loved him playing the villain in Expendables 2.
I mean, that's there are times when he's written for and cast properly where he works.
Coconut.
Yeah.
Now let's move on to the last question here. This is easy. I think I know the answer all the way around. Will, would you recommend this film?
In a heartbeat.
Dear, would you recommend this film?
Oh, totally.
Rotncorpse, would you recommend?
Not to everyone.
Mm-hmm.
But yes.
Angela, would you recommend this film?
I have to echo Rotten. I would recommend it to people who have seen Star Wars, but not The Last Starfighter. Specifically because of how it...
No, the people I wouldn't recommend it to are anyone who can't handle dubs like that, or typically the pompous assholes that'll be like, I watch films, I don't watch movies.
Oh, fuck off. Dr. Functional, would you recommend?
To anyone and everyone, and as a caveat to that, I would also recommend watching Jean-Claude Van Johnson. TV miniseries about Jean-Claude Van Damme being Jean-Claude Van Damme, and that was actually him at his peak.
And as for myself, I too would recommend this thing. I think it was great. A lot of fun.
I'm glad I could recommend something that everyone more or less enjoyed.
Now, what do you say, Tier? Shall we move on to the next feature?
Oh, yes. This one is Predator, The Dark Ages.
This is a shorter one.
Yes. Hold on.
Shorter one of 27 minutes?
Well, shorter than the last one.
Which was an hour. So what's this?
Predator, Dark Ages.
The last movie was an hour?
Yeah.
No.
Isn't that surprising? It doesn't feel like an hour, did it?
No, that Star Wars one did not feel like an hour.
Mm-hmm.
It was 50 minutes, but an hour. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And that's another hallmark of really good storytelling. You get yourself so lost and you don't realize how much time has passed.
Exactly. You want to know how good it was? We didn't shut up throughout the whole thing, and it still felt like it was a lot shorter than it actually was.
All right.
So let that shit sink in. The following movie is a movie. Watch the movie and then tell us about the movie. It's not a movie. That's this guy's running.
Hey, wow.
To be fair, I've seen this.
White Walkers are coming.
Jesus Christ, man! I guess it really is.
Run! It's the Spanish Inquisition.
Oh, so Dark Ages, okay, is in reference to the time period. Can you turn it down about like 20?
Yeah.
Yeah,
There,
I kind of guessed that was a bad green screening there.
We're off to the Crusades.
Bring out your dad.
There's Volt. God wills it.
Here's one.
That's a nice size encampment for a fan film. I appreciate it.
This is why you attend your local Ren Fair to make your movie.
Thank you for coming. I did not expect
Find your
someone
cast
such
there.
prestige.
Legolas?
No, Grace. My man at arms.
My son, this is no place for a woman.
Take comfort in the knowledge you're not the first to have made such a mistake. Freya knows these lands as well as any man.
I am sure. Thomas, come walk with me.
You know she has tits, right?
You hear that? He mistook you for a woman.
Hey Vasquez, anyone ever mistake you for a woman? No. You?
After this mission.
Your Grace.
I think that when he said he
Men
never
have seen
mistook
too
you for
much
a man,
death.
she's like, I don't know if they ever mistake you
Some
for one.
deserved,
Yeah.
some not.
Many return from defending our faith only to find themselves questioning it.
Obi-Wan Kenobi's
Why
really
are we
let
here,
himself go.
priest? The
Obi-Wan
Archbishop
Kenobi
believes
looks
we
like a
have
little
someone
old woman.
who could be of
Yeah.
use. You know
Thought it
what
was
they
a
Woman
have
doesn't
said
belong here.
about this beast that you hunt.
You have
Your
heard the
father
tales?
wanted you to have this when you were old enough.
Witchcraft, dragons. But I'm yet to know why the church has shown such an interest.
The local villagers
Witchcraft,
have made a
dragons, insurance
substantial
salesmen.
donation to the order.
All the
Hey.
great
in
evils of
return
the
for
world.
Our help. So
Hey.
naturally, God wills it.
I repeat,
Oh,
all the great
that's
evils of the
harsh.
world.
This way.
Right. The
This is
church
the
was
reason the
protect.
Archbishop
Here with the
sent
knives early.
you to our encampment. Thomas, this is
Said ibn al-Shams.
Okay.
Apparently not,
A
BG.
Saracen.
a Saracen who can help you to defeat this beast.
What help could a Saracen
Okay, Obi-Wan
give me?
looks a little less like a woman
He
now.
can advise you where he can.
Advice?
A heathen.
Why should I trust a man who sells his own country?
This thing kills both Christian and Muslim. It does not care for religion, even if we do.
Brother, he cannot be trusted. He is a savage. They all are.
I am not the one who murders with no remorse.
Here we go.
That's because you don't have a vest.
Templar,
Sorry.
Said has experienced this evil before.
Somebody's ignoring the
I
history.
neither need nor want his help.
Enough, Thomas. I will hear no more. You may not want his help, but I say it is God's will. Said
There's Volt!
rides with you.
Sorry. I just have a strong reason to retake Jerusalem.
Saracen. Apparently he has experience of what we hunt.
Is that so?
It's a bad omen. I can feel it.
Feel it in the balls.
Just give him a pork sandwich and be done with it.
Ouch!
Ouch.
Well, just remember, because of a lot of explosives, they're actually made with big gelatin. Now those suicide bombers actually wouldn't have it.
Turn it down a little bit more.
Making raids took over most of the Christian lands. It was one-sided until a small group of Christians decided to fight back.
Again, we take the homeland. Reconquista.
So?
Several bodies were dragged through here, away from the path.
Go on foot from here.
We
Dollar
walk from
General-
here.
So we like looking for a needle in a haystack.
Wish that Con Legolas has a point.
We walk from here is a great trope in movies.
What do you know of this beast?
It's right up there with I've got a bad feeling about this.
It means demon.
Have you actually encountered?
And if you're say
Yes.
and unless the ground is inhospitable to horses
How
or
do you kill
the
it?
horses are spooked, there's no reason to do it. And if the horses are spooking,
Well, how did you kill?
you want to
The
second guess if you want to walk there in the first place.
Right, and the horses seem to be pretty mellow at the moment.
Yeah.
Maybe it's how dense the forest is.
Well, I think
So the Fellowship of the Rings is about to go after a predator dude.
Like I said,
Look like a
bad
Hellcat.
omen.
We're not hunting a mere beast, you
There-
fools.
See, that's what I was just about to get
is
to.
more
Like,
powerful than us
they're under
all.
the impression this is
You
just some
should
sort of
have
like
stayed in the
beast,
pen with
like a
the
bear
priest.
or something. You
Yeah.
know,
You were
like,
fighting to
where-
true knights.
You
the
think I want to
Saracens
be
kind of under the understanding this is
Not
something
my
a little bit more supernatural, a little bit out of the ordinary, and so they're hunting this creature. They still want the sources trampling through the forest would be a lot noisier.
Do not care what you want.
That being said,
You are
they
with
are
us
still
now,
wearing
and you will fight
heavy
with us.
armor.
Yeah.
Which is going to
So
make
it's
all
kinda
kinds
like-
of its own noise.
I'm not really
And-
buying these are guys are hunters kind of thing.
And heavy armor
Man, you
is
guys are
not
assholes.
a real good thing
and
against
they're bringing-
predator weaponry.
No. It's a good
Oh,
way to
you
get cooked
just
inside
tighten
your
them
armor.
Mm-hmm.
Plasma bolts do wonderful things to metal.
Yes.
Well, it all depends if that's what he's gonna. If they're actually gonna have him using projectile weapons like that.
Charles Spitz here. There are two sets
And
of
of
the
course,
same specs.
that
West.
armor is not going to stop predator blades, so and exposed heads.
Right.
Fast, fast, guy on the horse.
Take a trail toward the west. 20 leagues. We meet back here by nightfall.
Let's split up.
It's like they've never seen a horror film.
Right.
Well, they
Well,
probably
the
never
Dark
have seen a
Ages-
horror film.
Dark Ages is a little bit ahead of horror film tropes. You know, they probably didn't go to the movie house on Fridays and Saturdays, or
Possibly not.
They went to the temple to pray.
So taking bets, I think it's going to be the big guy who said this is a bad omen.
I really hope they run into the knights who say knee.
Him as the first
Well,
one. To
from the
get-
running and that whole thing that they start at the beginning, it looks like that it's probably going to be to do with the sword in his back who survives further into the end.
They're gonna run to the Black Knight. I move for no man.
Like Robert Baratheon over here, he's not wearing any armor. He's ready for a fight. He's one of the baddest motherfuckers here, just visually so far. I think he's
I'm gonna
probably
call-
the first to fight it.
I'm going to call this guy Land Shark.
yeah,
And this guy's Ross.
who's the first guy who's going to Sean Deed?
Marshal!
We found the body.
The Black Knight.
Oh.
He's got no arms.
Got no arms and legs.
It's just a flash.
Oh, the draw.
Just but a scratch. Oh, he does have
Is
arms.
it a warning or
And legs.
something else?
No skin.
No one deserves
Wow.
a death like this. I don't think it's this demon.
Yeah, this isn't snakes,
Two, maybe
lions,
three bandits
tigers,
at most.
bears, oh my.
Probably heard the same stories as Saeed. Nothing like a bit of fear. Let us hope you're right.
Yeah, this is hunting something that hunts back and is smart,
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
but also kind of a jerk and
Tell me
taunts
more
you.
about this beast.
Huh?
They say it has claws as long and sharp as swords.
They say.
Probably breathes fire too, right?
Worse. Much worse.
Oh my.
Legend
Do not
has
listen
it.
to him. He's trying to scare you.
That means someone survived before, if there's a legend.
Yeah.
He doesn't scare me.
No, I thought that was pretty funny. He's like, don't listen to him.
Something's not
He's
right.
probably trying to scare you, and he's just like, it's working.
It's working.
I wish that Tom Legolas was. He's trying to scare you. He doesn't scare me. Oh wait, no, something's wrong here.
Witchcraft.
Witchcraft and buggery.
I wish he had a bigger, like,
The trees.
bastard, two-handed fuck-off sword.
Yeah.
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 He's,
that'd
he's
be
the type
awesome.
of dude that, like, those kinds of
It led
weapons
us
are
here.
made for. Or, like, a giant warhammer or something.
Yeah, Warhammer would have been perfect. Or Mace. He pulls out the
To your
kukri.
elven eye see. Nice.
Oh no, they're under attack by a digital effect.
Nice!
Yeah,
Behind you!
that's really well done.
Oh no, Yamcha got Yamcha'd.
Very well done.
Yeah, I like that.
Boo. Mm.
There can be only one. Oh, sorry. You gotta keep coming back to Poland.
He didn't even run off. He's just skipping.
Retreating. We must wait. We must give chase.
I would have liked it if he backhanded the both of them just down to the ground and ran off.
Well, she's done.
Bye, Freya.
Yeah.
When you
See you in the Lord-
strip off Predator.
Nice.
See you in the Lord of the Rings movie.
What happened? The demon came for him. Freya has given chase.
Foolish woman!
And yet you're still here.
Because I'm not fucking stupid.
Because I'm not an idiot.
It's like,
But I hope you're pregnant.
Back without these, if I come back
Better.
without these jerks,
Yeah, he won't attack her if she's
I
pregnant.
understood.
Well, even in the first, when he didn't attack him, but the woman wasn't attacking him either.
yeah, but a woman posing a threat.
I was gonna say, this is an armed woman.
Well, Freya's dead.
Yep.
No, she's not. She's pregnant.
Nope, she's headless.
Damn, son.
Oh, dear God.
Way to really lose your head there, woman.
He took her head.
Oh.
No, she's supposed to give head, not take. Oh.
Some kind of ungodly sacrifice.
No.
Well, the flip side is, given to the lore and everything, if he took her head, he really respected her as a fighter.
Did you see it?
That's true.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Just his eyes burning like flames.
He lies! That's not what he saw!
Why would I lie? Is this not what you hunt? Now you are scared.
I am afraid
Land
of
shark.
no man.
This is no man we hunt. We are all going to die.
I'll hear no more of your poison!
I ain't afraid of no man while he's not a man. I am no
We're
man.
all scared. But we will prevail!
God wills it. Dance vote. Sorry.
So how do we
Okay,
hunt
Robert
what
the
we
Bruce
cannot
dies
see?
next.
May return for the other
See,
body.
their mistake is standing facing
collect
each other.
its prize.
They should be back to back.
Yes.
Richard, Damien,
Yeah, back to back and talking
Watch
over
for
your
each
shoulder to each other because it's close.
you
Let's divide our forces further.
killed me. Follow the blood.
Be mindful. It may well be hoping you do this.
And let us not disappoint it.
I do like that sword swoosh.
But when they cross blades and touch tips,
Brave, 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 Sir Robin. What?
retracting that.
Yeah.
When danger reared its ugly head, he bravely turned his tail and fled. Brave, 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 brave Sir Robin.
What's up?
Yo.
It's a fairly quick reveal.
Hello, I'm the Predator.
And whoever came up
I'll
with
be
the
killing
casting
you
has
today.
actually seen the movie.
Here to speak to you about your car's extended warranty.
Did you forget about me?
Not for
No.
long.
Nice.
All right, now you've pissed me off.
Oh,
I've activated battle mode. One hit kill. Wow.
A nice dumping of the gutterage.
Yeah, the Predator costume is pretty good for the budget.
Did he rip out his spine?
yes, he does.
Oh,
that would
just making
be
sure.
That'd be in character for him.
Yep.
Usually he wastes their
Your
time.
spine is mine.
I was gonna say, I mean, they're actually, whatever their budget is, they're managing to hit all of the major points.
Yes.
Yeah.
I did find a what didn't work for me, though. We'll get to that later.
Cool.
Hey, look, it's the Tree of Liberty being nourished by the blood of... Well, anyway.
The blood of some asshole.
It's Independence Day, ladies and gentlemen.
Taken so easily.
Yeah, so now, of course, you got the question, how are these two idiots going to
strike when it returns
win?
to bodies.
beat the Predator at this point?
There is nothing we can do.
Yeah, how are they going to form the
They're-
buddy cop bond?
Kill it.
They are outclassed at every level,
We must
and they hate each other.
We still have our lives.
And one's smart enough to want to run.
That deaths will be for nothing.
We could not defeat Stinger, and it is no different now.
Yes, it is. We can fight it together.
No. I cannot die. Not like men.
Coward!
You will stand fast.
Is it safe to say Patriot on the YouTube yet?
Probably
We must
not.
fight it. No,
Depends on the context.
it is not invincible. It bleeds.
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
And if we can kill it, it bleeds. I mean,
Someone
yes.
come back.
So what?
You Saracen.
If he just runs like that, I think the Predator would kill him and not even bother to collect anything. Predator would be like, that guy's, he's just an asshole.
Is there supposed to be more racial, religious tension between the two? Yes. Is it working? No.
No.
Ooh.
So, wait a minute. When did he go back to get the Teutonic helmet? Like, did he just...
The helmet and the shield are going on. He's getting serious.
You know how hard it is to sheath a sword when it's sheath is strapped to your back?
Yes.
It's quite challenging.
But that's how great his skill is.
No. No one's skill is that good.
I'm kidding.
I know
the
you
Dark
are.
Souls boss music.
Yes.
Also hard to. It's also very hard to unsheath a sword that's involves your
Strapped
over
to.
your shoulder.
Depends on the sheath. If it's a sheath,
And it
it's not
depends
so
on the
hard. If
sword.
it's a scabbard, it's different.
Yeah.
Bring out your dead.
Yeah.
Oh,
now
that's me.
the Predator's like,
thought
who's making
that
all that
too.
fucking noise?
God damn it! I'm just trying to crank on my hog a little bit. Just like, this is
Damn
making it
banging.
extremely difficult to masturbate. Not cool, dude.
Oh.
Trying to clean my trophies. By clean my
So
trophies.
they had to cut where he drew it. Yeah.
Let's not even think
Got
about
a
what
handful of
Predator's
swords
pulling
around
right
here. I would much rather have it on my waist than over my shoulder.
now. Generally, yes. Depends on what you're doing with them.
Not kind of the cane sword in my hand.
Again, he's a fool for fighting at night with limited peripheral vision. And
Yeah, he blinded himself to the majority of the space around him.
well, he's a fool for fighting at night. What they should have done is retreat and came. We should have done is retreat and come back.
And
He's at a massive disadvantage.
yeah, and a helmet like that only works in a very limited combat environment where you're not going to be getting approached
Well,
from the blind
He
side.
kind of unknowingly did challenge the Predator to
Mortal Kombat?
combat, to Mortal Kombat, which is something that the Predator is.
Oh,
Wait a minute. Wait, he's going to use a sword, really?
Yep.
Well, the Predator is a sportsman.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be something that if he encountered a person that he really respected their courage or their strength or their fighting ability, he would take himself to the lowest level of comparable tech.
Yeah.
Like to that
Well,
level. Yeah.
remember when
At
he
least-
fought Danny Glover? Or, well, when they fought Danny Glover, they fought literally hand to hand.
Yeah, he's bringing a sword to the fight, so the Predator happens to have a sword, he's gonna.
Oh. That was a hell of a headbutt.
And that's why you don't get into a face-to-face fight with somebody who's familiar with the weapon when you're not.
Well, that's just it. He doesn't know anything about the Predator until they started fighting here.
Well, the Predator's
tag. You're in.
Predator got stabbed with a sword because he's not familiar with long blade combat of that kind. And nuke himself when he loses is one last FU for winning. Yeah, it's they hate losing, but if they respect you, they'll give you the chance to win.
Yes.
They might make it a Pyrrhic victory by, I'll take you with me. They'll give you the chance to win.
Well, no. When they were hunting AVP, when he was hunting the Xenomorphs, he was going to nuke himself.
Let him go.
Yeah, well, when they're hunting Xenomorphs, the Xenomorphs are an equal threat to the Predator, and it's you nuke the Xenomorphs rather than losing the planet to them.
Confused idiot is a distraction.
Is it going to be kung fu fighting now?
God, I hope so.
Ho 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 ho!
What did we did? Yeah.
What?
Come on.
It's like
Took a trophy.
Yeah.
I don't even want to play anymore. I'm tired. Go home, watch Parcheesi.
Okay, this really doesn't work for me with him just stopping there and going. That's not a Predator move.
No.
He no longer had an armed opponent.
Even so, he would have killed the knight.
He would have killed the knight. The knight
He would have killed the knight. He might have killed the Saracen. Because they're no respecter of weakness.
Do not know.
Right.
Not a
Unless he was seeing the.
Else.
I don't think they accept surrender either.
No, they don't. With one exception. If you're facing an enemy of my enemy is my friend kind of situation, and it's somebody who's going to be fighting their opponent.
Although I already half expected him to be dead.
In AVP, when she active submission and gave him the gun, he didn't attack her.
Yeah,
AVP doesn't count because they ignored all the lore for everything to make those movies.
Yeah,
they're
not
outliers.
Yeah, they're not respecters of surrender.
Right, they're hunters. If anything, when the animal becomes too wounded to fight back, you kill it.
Well, to be fair, they didn't kill when they found out she was pregnant. They stopped attacking.
That's a different thing.
He was more like a
that's
game
allowing
warden.
the herd to persist so you can continue to hunt.
Yeah, that's yeah.
In
When
the
you're
first
calling
Predator, when Schwarzenegger kicked the gun out of her hands, that too was a different thing because the Predator didn't go after her because he became the threat that was immediate. So he had to go after Schwarzenegger. Simply being
Clearly,
unarmed
he
isn't
was
enough.
just called back home. His time portal opened. He had to leave.
His dad, all right, son, time to leave. You're done playing with your friends.
I just got grounded. I gotta go home now. I can hear my mom calling. Street
lights came on.
Street lights came on. Gotta go home.
All right, shall we do it? Do the thing?
Yes,
Let's do the thing.
Starting with Will again. What was the first question? Did you like it?
Overall, more up than down. So like 1.5 thumbs, maybe half thumb down. So
So it's a yes in general, I guess.
More positives than negatives,
Yeah.
maybe.
Okay. Tyr, did you like it?
Yeah, I generally like any Predator shit because it's Predator. It's always cool.
Rotncorpse is muted. Wonder if he
I
had to
had
go.
fun.
Wonder if he had to go check his
use
toaster.
Yes.
Yes.
So Angela, we'll get back to Rotncorpse. Angela, did you like it?
I had fun. It was cool.
And Dr. Functional?
Yeah, it was all right.
Clown writes, a predator only kills those who are worthy of. If you are not a threat or a trophy, they don't care. That's true too.
Mm-hmm.
There's
well, to a certain extent, they will. I mean, they'll kill to thin an area of non-threats too. But if it's a non-threat versus an imminent threat, they'll ignore the non-threat for the imminent threat. But they've killed plenty of people that weren't a threat in the moment, or provokes them into being a threat to kill them.
or they use, like they were attracted to heat and conflict. If you listen to the lore in the first or in the second one, and when they were in LA, they were basically using the gang war as a cover,
right?
For the
Yeah.
hunt.
Easy to hunt prey when there's nothing gonna get you.
Right.
That's the reason why they even killed ones who wouldn't be considered away, because of him killing like the hooker.
Right. Now, to back up a bit, Rotncorpse, did you like it?
It was all right. Not great. I mean, relatively like AVP 2 level. AVP 1 was at least fun. AVP 2, I'm not gonna lie, the best part was when the one chick that's supposed to be like the kid's love interest, she goes to run, ends up getting hit by the fucking, super shuriken and gets pinned to the wall, dead.
Yeah. I'm going to say I enjoyed it. I'll put it that way.
It was good. It was pretty good right up until that like last part. The ending was
we'll get to that because that's in the what didn't work column, I guess. So let's go. Will, what worked for you in this movie?
Just trying to keep in mind that this is a low budget fan film. In some respects, the notion of trying to put it into a different era and pull warriors and fighters from a different period of time and try and put it there. I'd love to see Predator in feudal Japan.
Ooh, yes.
God, that'd be awesome.
That'd be a good one.
So, I mean, the notion behind it certainly works, and some of the things like their costuming on the Predator was spot on. I don't know if all of the different armor styles actually work together historically, because I got a blind spot in history there. But they at least tried with the costuming. They tried for a storyline. They weren't like robotic in their acting or anything for the most part.
All right, Tyr, what worked for you?
Again, I'm a fan of the Predators, so I loved everything. I loved the interplay between the two conflicting sides, how the Saracen and the Christian were basically at each other's throats. I love the environment too. Oh God, fighting that in a dense forest instead of a steamy jungle or a urban area. Fucking great. I wish they would have used that more, but it is what it is.
Rotncorpse, what worked for you?
I did like how they were pretty accurate, it seemed like, with the weaponry and everything, and how not everything was going to be super fast to use, especially like the guy struggling under stress to actually use the crossbow properly.
Oh yeah, to reload it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Angela, what worked for you?
I liked that they used their budget well so that they were able to hit all of those points that show up in if not all, than most of the Predator films.
And Dr. Functional?
All the technical aspects were there. Like, it was good camera work, good use of audio, the camera like shots, the storyboarding. It was all really well executed. I really liked the costuming. I thought it was well done. Again, limited budget. The encampment being a decent enough size. Obviously, if it was a real like war host or something, it'd be huge. But this is obviously a smaller kind of host. And yeah, some of the special effects were good too. Like it doesn't take much, but like the Predator cloak looked good within its the mythos and everything. So yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go with I did like the costuming. I like the visual effects being used when necessary and not being overplayed. An example of that, when the guy was gutted and we see him from behind and just the glow just falls out of him. I thought that was great. It told the story without being gratuitous. And I thought that was fantastic. Back to Will. What didn't work for you? This is going to be long. Sorry.
It's only 27 minutes long. It shouldn't take me more than 30 to 35 minutes to pick it apart.
Let's pick a couple things that didn't work.
Well, the first thing that hit me hard was when it just that opening scene, and it got to the close in, and you could see that it was green screened and not green screened well. It's like you even had an encampment area and everything. You didn't, I mean, unless all the tents and everything were green screened too, in which case they did effects very well there. But I mean, you didn't have to green screen that point to have the guy running through a field or away from the woods or anything like that. There were a few parts where it's like that really doesn't make sense with the way a Predator would treat that situation. You know, people, you know, like in the end, okay, he would have taken more than a helmet trophy from the night, and he probably would have gutted the Saracen as a worthless, as beneath contempt.
Yeah.
So, just to hit it on one or two things, they used some special effects versus just regular practical camera work in places where they didn't need to. And if you don't do it well, it detracts. And then you've got the, you know, some parts of to make the story what they wanted to make it, they hit a few places where it lost cohesion to the lore.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kier, what about you? What didn't work for you?
All right. So, like you said, the lore issue, he should have killed both the Saracen and the Knight, and he should have ripped out their spines and took them as trophies. The fact that, you know, he gets gutted or he gets ran through and he doesn't finish him off
or doesn't self-destruct.
Well, no, it wasn't that he was dying. It was just that he still got ran through, and he didn't like kill him. He just lets him go. Like, you wounded me, all right, you die. And he had him dead to rights. He had him twice dead to rights. Remember when he had him a chance to slit his throat, and he stopped to punch him? To headbutt him. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Him just abruptly leaving really didn't work for me because it just left it unfinished.
If you wanted him leaving without killing either one of them, they had to have done more damage to him.
Or give us, give us some sort of time limit. Like, you know, have one of the Predators like roar, like, hey, we're about to go.
Basically, had the whole thing of, because this would most likely be of a younger, was it Yaocho, I think is what they're actually called.
Young T or Yao Chi or something like that.
Yao Chi, and Gotcha. And of like basically, hey, your time limit for your hunt is over. Take any trophies and leave.
Yeah,
I can see another possibility, but they didn't. If this was what they think happened, they didn't display it well. If getting stabbed the way the predator did enough damage, where he's like, okay, they won the hunt. If that's the case, I could understand it, but they didn't display it well. They should have had him holding on to a wound that's like gushing blood and potentially going to split open if he doesn't hold the flesh together.
Yeah,
but having trouble walking evenly and
yeah,
but it doesn't show that. It shows him.
That's what I mean. It doesn't show it, so
it doesn't
work.
exist.
I'm taking my ball and going home.
Yeah, and that's essentially what it feels like. Like, you got one good shot at me, and now you're behind me with the kukri, and that's it.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
That didn't work for me. Again, if they just show like, hey, he's on a time limit. Like, while he was up in the trees, you see him, typing on something, and you see it counting down. That would have been. Some indicate that it's on a timer.
Yeah, like if they did manage an indication that he was doing a speed run, basically.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I didn't like that we didn't see everybody get a chance to fight. Like, Freya gets killed off screen and she does nothing. I get why Big Guy didn't do anything because he's like the first to die. But it would have been nice to see her like at least like put an arrow in him. Or at least try to hold her own.
Or have him show up the second time he shows up, he's still got a couple of arrows in him.
Yeah, that'd be some sort of indication.
It's one of those things he's pulling it out.
Yeah. And that could be how they know he's bleeding because they see blood.
And he could be like, God damn it. Something. But we didn't get that. Rotncorpse.
Mostly. Oh shit!
I've been shot. No,
that was the gun falling over. Actually, it's not loaded. It's kind of two things in there. I'm trying to remember what the second one was. The first one was that whole first one is the whole rule of cool. Why the fuck is a Templar knight got a sword in his back?
Yeah,
he would have been trained to use it on his side. It's not effective. It's not going to be any of that. All the training's going to be done to have him take it from his side because it's the smartest, easiest way to put it. It's easier to draw it from a horse, easier for everything.
Yes. 2,
you had a Muslim and a Christian. Where the fuck are the racial slurs for medieval?
Yes. Why?
There would have been a metric fuck ton more racial slurs used. I know they're looking at we don't want to do that. No. If you're making one at that time, use that language.
Yeah, yes. Heathen, barbarian, savage. Yes, that should have been thrown left and right.
The hell have I done there? I'll agree.
Like that was my main thing. It's like, okay, we're supposed to have it set in this time. Stop doing this like modern audience shit type thing. Like you can even put in there that the guy's like, look, I don't want to deal with this because it killed people I care about and whatnot. I'm fine with that. There were people like that back then, but it's like there would have been exponentially more racial slurs used against each other, or at least against him, or at least against the Muslim.
I agree. Angela.
Okay. You have a chick. You have set this chick up to be badass. To the point that you're arguing with an elder that they are meant to be out there with you. And then you just kill her off screen with a scream with no sign of a struggle, no sounds of struggle, no sounds of fight. You just hear her scream and she's dead.
And her head's gone and we're not seeing any other wounds.
Yeah.
That Legolas was done dirty.
Basically,
you had a chance to do one of two things. You could have made her a Mary Sue and entirely unlikable, or you could have made her an actual badass and an awesome character and still killed her off. But you chose to just throw her away, which is even more of a disrespect to the character.
Or here's a good one: have the two archers go together with the guy, and have that they're fighting from range. You know, while he's loading his crossbow, she's putting in arrows, and they're trying to hold it against him. And he takes out the crossbow guy first, or takes her out with the gun, and he sees that shit, and he gets hit with the net.
Well, Angela, I think what you're really getting at is they committed the sin of tell, don't show.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
And I agree with you. We should have seen Madam Badass be Madam Badass.
Mm-hmm. Or, like I said, make her marry Sue and entirely unlikable. Either one is more respect to this character than what they gave her.
Yes, I agree.
And at the very least, you know, if you're killing her off screen like that, next time you show him with a couple arrow wounds, show him with the pulling the arrows out, broken off arrows.
Give us the sounds of a fight taking place.
Yeah, because all we got was
Yeah,
exactly. And then suddenly no head.
Give the sound of the arrows in flight. Hear the only sound of axe that cuts through the air.
Dr. Functional, what didn't work for you?
Oh boy. So some of the things that haven't been touched on, they shouldn't have been calling it a demon. The Saracen himself should have been calling it a shaitan or a jinn.
Yeah, maybe a jinn.
Yeah.
The like you guys have said already, there's been two cardinal sins here. They're the telling and not showing, and the dialogue choices. You can still have, you know, using modern English because it's what we speak and what we would understand as a film. That's fine. I can get past that. But when you're using certain parlance like demon as opposed to jinn, or like the racial slurs not being sort of like a little bit heavier there, kind of would have liked to have had a little bit of more build up there. But whatever, it like I said at the beginning, it's not like I liked it. I just thought it was fine. The Saracen himself as a character he should have been like a tracker or a hunter or something like that, some kind of specialized type of dude, instead of just like Muhammad the token Saracen.
Yeah.
But they couldn't have a tracker because that was Freya.
Oh, you know what? Know what role? Hey, Kefk. Know what role Freya could have played? Freya could have been, you know, she's the other archer. She's not a tracker though. She's just good with arrows, and we keep her around because we need range, and she's good at range. Like she doesn't go up front, and he could have been the tracker. The Saracen could have been the tracker who's going. Yeah, these are the woods. This is the area.
Yeah, my point is just having token Saracen was just kind of meh. The whole first interaction was super cool, and then they just pissed on it by, oh, he runs away and then kills Freya? Like, the guy, like, should have just, like, fucking murked him, whatever. I don't want to rewrite the movie for them. I'm just telling you the points that scene didn't work.
I think there's Morgan Freeman and Robin Hood. That would have been better.
Yeah.
And the whole it bleeds again. Show, don't fucking tell. You have somebody look and see. Oh, look, there's green goo on the floor, and when he cut him, he saw that his blood is green goo, and you'd be like, oh, look, now we can have the conversation. Oh, if it bleeds, we can kill it. You know.
Again, it should have been if Freya would have put the arrows in him, and we see him pull the arrows out, you know, and then oh shit, that looks like the creature's blood.
Basically, see it wounded and be like, we can kill
blood
this.
On the ground. But instead, they said, "Oh, yeah, it's bleeding." Like, motherfucker, are you serious? You just
she could have been a shield bearer.
You're doing this to like once or twice is kind of okay. You're working in a budget here, blah blah blah. But you can't say everything. There has to be some show to the show and tell here.
Or you know what? Really quickly, you know what she could have been? She could have been a squire if she'd have cut her hair and we didn't know she was a woman. You know, had one of those issues because that's a common trope. That's something that no one knows that she's a girl. Everyone assumes she's a boy just like everybody else. He's just, oh, that's my squire. Why is he coming? Because he goes where I come. Words.
The shield again. They just keep doing this. The shield banging seems so silly, so silly. I mean, at least if you wanted to do something to give that scene some purpose or some meaning, you have him, thunk, 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 like ready to fucking fight here, and then you have the camera just focused on him, just constantly.
No, which you should have done with that one.
Hold on, let me finish my thought. And then you hear in the distance, and he's still going. He's not stopping. You hear the Predator going, like in Predator 2 when he's on top of the tower, and he's like, ah! And then you have that call being answered.
Yeah.
Or you know what? That shit that could have been done. Something they do all together. Like they bang their weapons together as just the symbol they're about to hunt.
A Predator would do. A Predator would scream.
No.
He would answer the challenge, and again, it pissed me off that they don't do any character building, other than established. Oh, these are knights. Oh, she's the man at arms. The like
everyone's two-dimensional.
Yeah. Here's trying to say that it was used at the wrong point of the story. It should have been used at the beginning to build morale going into the battle.
Yeah, it's their from what it seems they've been a band together for some time, and they would have some sort of team. Before we go into battle, either we pray or we bang our shit together to call God down and have him witness our battle and protect us.
Or they sing "Come On, Feel the Noise." Something.
Something or they sing a hymn like, "Hey God, we're about to go into battle. Could you please watch out for us? And if we die, please carry us up to heaven."
They prayed for the holy hand grenade of Antioch.
As I say, out of nowhere, they're praying to God. You hear them singing MC Hammer, "This is what we do."
Yeah, there you go.
This is what we do.
Yeah, sure. I mean, it seems so far a lot of us have just wanted to complete, good idea, good premise, but we want to rewrite the entire fucking thing to be something coherent. And my last point was just all I wrote on my notes was, what the fuck is this ending?
Yes,
every scene, you're again, the one thing that really I love that first kill scene, perfect setup to sort of mini payoff to this initial building that the first act has given us, and then every scene just kind of falls apart, and then
I just realized
the end scene is that coup de grace where it's just really, you're gonna do your audience dirty like that?
I just had another gripe.
Could have done.
Well,
and I imagine, even within their very limited budget, could have been executed in some manner or another. Just really no.
Well, what was the size of the budget on this one?
Oh, look.
$10.
It shows.
I just had another gripe.
If they had $10, they did some massive shit.
They went to a red
Everyone
fair.
brought their own costumes.
They had magic that they the costumes, they could just be Ren Fair LARPers. Come on.
Yeah, it was hey, we're gonna film this movie. Bob, you still got that Predator costume?
Shit, yeah, let's do it. All right, I just realized
you went to Comic-Con as a Predator last year, didn't you? You still got that outfit? Want to try something fun?
Really quickly, Mitch, I just realized another gripe. The Saracen did not fight. It gears up like he's going to fight, and he goes, he pulls out the kukri, and then nothing. It is a massive cock tease.
I think he was making a point of not fighting, actually, which was another case where they did not present the situation well.
Yeah, the characterization didn't follow that very well.
It was literally here, see, I have a weapon, but I'm sheathing it. I'm not threatening you. I'm not going to fight you.
Looking for.
But they didn't make it They didn't present it well.
My gripe is I've got several, but I'm just gonna stick with one. Okay, they go into the forest, right? They're gonna hunt the thing, whatever the thing is. They're hunting it. So what do they do first? They split up.
Yeah.
They immediately did a divide and conquer on themselves, and then when we hear a scream, we go back. Oh look, everything. All right, let's split up again. It's like watch an episode of Scooby-Doo, you dumbasses.
Yes.
Thought the Knights Templar were supposed to be smarter than this.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That we're talking about very basic military tactics, and they bungled it from the outset.
Yeah, because it wouldn't be like split up. It'd be basically it's like, no, you don't go more than like 5 feet. Have a line, keep it tight.
Right.
Well, even then, like the archers should have been in front, like as scouts. We can see clear down the ridge. It looks fine. Come on in. You know.
You don't send your long range guys in first that don't really have much for close quarters combat.
Right, especially without radios. Which they didn't know at the time, to be fair, but still. It's just that
you don't
that
really
bothered me.
send your range fighters in at all. They're supposed to cover.
No, you keep them close and back.
Well, they're supposed to be the scout unit.
That's why they're called ranged fighters tier.
So, as far as I've been able to find, they did a Kickstarter campaign, and they originally got about 5,000, but then a backer came on to give another 7 to 8K. So we're looking at about 15K.
Oh, okay.
Not bad.
Which is why they were able to get the cloaking and the spinal rip out. And
yeah, they used drones. They had proper cameras, and surprisingly enough, the first one, Wingman, was filmed mostly on high grade smartphone cameras.
Oh wow!
Yeah, like all those cockpits. It's you should see some of the behind the scenes shots. It's just them sitting in these built cockpits with a smartphone in front of them.
Oh,
like it's on a rig, so like but it's really.
But it's
just
there, and that's what's recording.
And so just another quick. The movie runner said yes. Originally, if we got our 5K minimum, we were just going to shoot the high concept trailer like I had originally started out with. But if we got 20K, we would have shot our intended full short. There's another point in this article where they did mention that because there was maybe about another 10 minutes or so where they specifically say we wanted to develop the characters, especially the main Crusaders there, have like 2 more and sort of have them opening a scene where they're, like in the original Predator, like taking on a band of mercenaries to show that they've got the stuff. So a full more, 10 minutes of basically just character building, which I think would have lended itself, but because of their budget shortfall, I can see why they had to sort of shrink down the original idea. And I think we're kind of all in agreement that sort of, was a little bit of a detractor. But
I can counter that pretty easily. They without having to have that whole thing in there, they could have went about it more of the way John Wick did, to where it was heavily implied, and then you get to see the badassery. So having the one guy come up, the old man, and be like, "Oh, it's this person." But if you'd have had 6 people, hear that, and been like 6 other people, been like, "Wait, Sir So and So's here? Oh my God, it's so amazing to me that you basically have that implied of his badassery."
Yeah, any level of character building would have added quite a bit to this.
Yes. Now let's get to that final bit there. Will, would you recommend?
Provisionally. It's conditional, because if I've got somebody who is super into the lore and couldn't handle the schlock of AVP 2 stuff and take those in stride, I'd say no. If it's for light entertainment, say, hey, it's low budget, it's light entertainment. In this universe, there's going to be some issues, but it's just a budgetary, it's primarily a budgetary issue, probably.
Okay, Tier, would you recommend?
Oh, yeah. I would recommend this. It's a good little 20-minute, 30-minute watch. It doesn't break too much lore, but I'd recommend it.
Okay, Rotncorpse, would you recommend?
Yeah, again, it'd be more provisional of like it's not a for everyone thing. So it's gonna be someone who likes more schlock movies, or especially like inspiring filmmakers themselves, because it is that whole thing of this is what you can do on a low budget type shit. Don't just let your dreams be memes.
Yeah. Angela, would you recommend?
Like Will, if I know it's somebody that is so into it that they're going to look at the stuff that we pointed out and it's going to piss them off. No. But everybody else, yeah. I mean, if you're just looking to see something, you kind of like the Predator movies. You're looking for something fun to, like, waste a little time to.
20 minutes, yeah.
For sure. There's no reason not to recommend it.
Okay, Dr. Functional, would you recommend it?
I'd surprise you guys, but I would definitely recommend this, and not just to Predator fans, because it's really good as far as proof of concept. Like, to say, hey, and look at how it's inspired every member of this panel to do at least some rewrites and reshoots in their head. It's inspired you to push your imagination. It's kindling. It's lit that, started that fire in your brain that's getting you thinking. And I think that's important. I think that's just as important as having movies that can do that, but are masterpieces.
That's
so
why
I would recommend it.
That's why I said that, like, inspiring filmmakers, and I should have included script writers.
Yeah.
To clarify, I do want to say I wasn't saying Predator fans. I was saying people who watch movies like Predator. For example, I would not recommend this to my roommate. She is not a sci-fi action person at all. I wouldn't recommend this to her. She's not going to have fun with it. She's going to sit there and go, why the hell did you even watch this?
Yeah, this isn't the thing you recommend to people who sit and rewatch, Sleepless in Seattle over and over.
No, this is a thing that you recommend to someone who likes Bruce Campbell movies like The Man with Two Brains.
Exactly.
Jeffrey Combs movies like Reanimator, but
yes,
or that.
Anything by Full Moon Productions. I am very much a recommender for people of things I know that they will like. I don't recommend something to people where I know they're going to come at me afterwards and go, why the hell did you make me watch this?
Because I hate you.
Because that is exactly how they will present it.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of got to be like a given in most things. Like, obviously, you're not going to recommend something if you know the person isn't going to like it. That's kind of... It's just mean. It's weird. Like, why would you do that? Like, if somebody actively doesn't like horror movies, why would you recommend watch It's Me, Billy? Like, wait.
I can answer that, actually. Because It's Me, Billy is not telling an exclusively horror story. There is more going on there with the girl dealing with the loss of her grandmother and things of that nature, like the original Halloween. That's not just a slasher film and not just a horror film. It's a psychological thriller as well.
Yes. It was just a poor choice of an example, but
okay.
Like watching, Friday the 13th.
Right.
Like, I wouldn't there would, if I knew the person did not like slasher horror, like there would be, it would just seem mean for me to recommend that to them. Mitch, would you?
I would recommend it, but my attitude in that recommendation would be like, yeah, it's worth a watch. If you know what I mean. I mean, this isn't something you go back and rewatch every month. Maybe not even every year.
No.
But
who initially pushed this?
I did.
Yeah. Oh, you did. Okay, cool.
But it is worth a watch, though, because, like you said, there's a lot to learn from it. There's a lot to train your critical eye on in this film too. And that's really the first part of like you said, Dr. Functional, building all those rewrites in your own imagination. Is you do that because you've developed a critical eye. And you start looking at things, you're going, how could this be made better?
Yes.
And it's like my Michael Myers thing. How can that be made better? Well, if we pay attention to the first movie, he's not trying to kill Laurie. Why is he not trying to kill her? Why is he trying to kill everyone but her, but he's still focused on her? What's going on there? And, that's never really explained in any of the subsequent films, but I have an explanation now because I have a critical eye and I have an imagination. I think this is a good film, Predator Dark Ages, to help train that critical eye and to get you, the viewer, thinking and imagining how things can be better. And I think it's good on that level, especially.
Yeah, sure. I wanted to go back and counter Angela on one thing when she said her friends would be like, how dare you make me watch this? The proper response to that is, oh, really? So I strapped you down and held open your eyelids like you were from A Clockwork Orange? And when they say no, they'll be like, you voluntarily watched it. I recommended it.
Did you see our episode with From Hell to the Wild West?
I did not.
Oh.
That might change your mind.
Didn't even save that movie.
Come on, let's be real here. It is Angela, so I could see her getting somebody down and prying open their eyes to watch them.
See,
if they did a wrong, I wouldn't put anything past it.
See, I like my answer.
Way more badass than I am.
I liked my answer better. It goes with what I say in a lot of my art streams, at least, is, if you like it, share it with people you like. If you hated it, share it with the people you hate. Share it with everybody. Let them try and figure out which one they are. I made you watch it because I hate you.
At the very least, this has inspired me to rewatch Predator movies again. Good. Sorry, Angela?
You wanted to know why I would have somebody watch a movie that I knew they wouldn't like. And it's not so much that I knew she wouldn't like it, as I knew it wasn't like going to be something that was going to end up being her massive favorite. But I took my roommate to see the Die Hard in the theater when it was running at AMC for Christmas this year, because I told her it's in my top 10 Christmas movies. It's probably in my top 5 Christmas movies, actually. And we argue constantly. She's determined it's not a Christmas movie. And I'm like, no, it is a Christmas movie.
It is a Christmas movie.
We don't need to have that argument right now.
It could not take place if it was not Christmas. That's it. So we went and we watched it, even though I know that she's not a huge action film fan. She's more of a let's watch Ocean's 11 25 times, or every time we can possibly find it on TV.
Oh, a Pretty Boy movie fan.
Yes. And I'm just like, it's not a bad movie. You're going to at least have a good time with it. It's not going to end up being one of your favorites, but we'll watch it because this is an argument we have every year. So why not actually watch the movie and have the argument, since we can see it in the theater, and neither of us had that experience.
Part of my problem with Ocean's 11 is I came to the franchise too late, and I'm not going to watch Ocean's 11 until I watch the first 10.
Nice.
Well played. Clown writes, as a Predator fan who has watched all the movies and reads the Marvel comics, I'd recommend.
Yep.
Groovy. All right, that leaves us where?
The
end of our show. We've actually gone an hour long.
Yeah,
roughly.
This is groovy. Any suggestions for next week?
Not a clue, but we're gonna want to wrap it up if anyone wants to catch Scribe, because he starts pretty soon.
Yeah.
Scribe, that jerkwad. What has he ever done? No, I'm just kidding. I love Scribe. Like, to an unhealthy degree, I love Scribe. I think he's
What has he
Yeah,
done? Format.
Mm-hmm. All right, okay. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming out and watching. We will be back next week. If you cannot get enough of either me, Rotncorpse, Angela, or Catsbringer, we do a show together on my channel called The Midnight Show. We will be starting at 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, PM, on this channel.
On my show's toes, you bastard.
Sorry. If you can't get enough of me, Mitch, and Functional, we do another show. Monday nights, 11 o'clock. We do Minions of the Zoo in Space.
When Functional shows up.
Yeah, Functional. When you're not in the Jeffries tubes.
You got lost on an away mission.
It's my fault. I've been screwing with the turbo lifts on them.
All I know is one of y'all better fix my goddamn engines. Like I said, that's 11 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Minions of the Zoo channel. Angela, you have at Mr. Adams' show, 10 o'clock, 10:30, if I'm not mistaken.
AJ's Retro Arcade, 7:30 my time, 10:30 if you're on the other coast.
Okay. Mitch, you have anything?
I did just yesterday. I released a reading of the Declaration of Independence for Independence Day on my Rumble channel. It runs about 11 minutes. There's not a lot of it's more like an audiobook. There's not a lot of visual elements to it, just one image. Except at the end, I did manage to slap in one of my cute little quotes at the end.
I bet it's the one about tyranny.
It'll get
it's in there.
I knew it.
Screeing.
What's that? What's that, Dr.
You'll
Functional?
get your inner eagle screeing.
Yes.
I think so.
If you go to the description and chat, you will find a sort of schedule for all the shows that me and my friends do on a weekly basis. They're right there in the description. Also, in the pinned comment and chat and in the description, we'll find 5 GoFundMes for my friends James Colley, Andrew Ariaga, Moonshock, the Hey Camel, and Maddy. Like I said in the beginning, they all fall on hard times and they could use a little assistance. Anything is greatly appreciated by both them and me. So
I got to take issue with your introduction on that, though, because in the intro you said they're all fine, good people and everything like that, and you're including James in there?
You're right. James is an asshole, but I love him. So, all right. Again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming out and watching. And
don't forget the golden rule of
a single movie or double feature.
Never forget the golden rule of the internet. Shake it naked.
And remember, everybody, never watch alone. Goodbye.
He said the thing.
He's a